Oh my god, Tom, no, I will not put that. Ugh. Oh, hey guys, welcome to Encounter Roleplay. My name is Will. I'm a D&D sex icon. I'm back today for another episode of Call of Cthulhu Master Nyarlathotep, and we're back today for Plan C, the Coke cruise across Australia. And we're going to see exactly how much cocaine the players are going to steal today. And maybe we'll get some cult activity going in there as well. Maybe there'll be some shenanigans along the way, a couple of tentacles here or there. We'll see what happens, but let's go around the cast and the crew, remind ourselves of who we are, who we're playing tonight. Lindy, how are you doing today?
I'm doing spiffy. I am doing super excited. I have been hyped for Plan C all week. All week. I'm ready. Catherine is ready. And but I don't think the world is ready for Plan C, so we'll see what happens.
I'm definitely not ready for Plan C. But you know, sometimes you don't need to be ready. Sometimes you just got to be in the right frame of mind for a Plan C. Tom, how are you doing today?
Today's been a good day. I got myself a job, which I start next week, which is very, very
Congrats.
good. It's been a while. And I'm playing Call of Cthulhu, so hell yeah, it's a great day. Before we started, there was some intricate planning for Plan C. It will go flawlessly, not a single problem whatsoever. I have faith that the plan will work. Complete and total faith.
Absolutely. Lucian, after all, was the first one to discover the cocaine aboard the RMS Moldavia, so yeah. What could go wrong? Pruitt, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing great here, Will. Congrats on the great news there, and congrats to us for Plan C. This will probably go down in history as the greatest plan that has ever happened on a Cthulhu show. Plan C on the high seas. It's going to be marvelous. I think we should bottle it and sell it back to the cultists as Culticola, trademarked. But, you know, Koskov's a businessman, so this is what he thinks about first. After using the cocaine, we have to sell some of it. Anyway, right. We'll get to that. The step two, we'll worry about that later. Right now, it's just a big question mark. But you know, I'm here as Koskov Romanovich, everybody's favorite Russian weapons dealer, gangster, and all-around swell guy. Let's get to it.
Thank God for us. Don, how's it going today?
It's good. I'm glad that in the face of nigh apocalypse, our priorities as a group are straight still, just like they always have been. I'm excited about Plan C. I hope we can find room for Plan B. I think we can get both in one episode, so we'll see how it goes. I'm excited.
You know, I was super surprised today when I saw the image of the first black hole that had been, you know, taken a photo of, that it didn't resemble this party. I was thinking it might be just a snapshot of the group, but weirdly not. Strange, but you know, science, I guess. Before we get started today, I'll remind you guys of a couple of things. So the first of which is we're sponsored today by FantasyGrounds.com, our virtual tabletop of choice. If you haven't checked out Fantasy Grounds yet, you can go play Cthulhu. We've got a ton of different modules on there. You can download the demo version for free on Steam or via their website. WaylandGames.co.uk is a go-to place to get all your tabletop board games, war games, and more, up to 20% off the retail value. And then, last but not least, Tabletop Loot is a place to go and get all of your dice needs. When we hit 20 retweets on this tweet, we will give away a set of dice to you guys there in the chat. So let's get retweeting, and let's see what happens today, because we're in for a doozy. Last week on the show, the party managed to escape from their imprisonment thanks to Dr. Patrick Strausler, who revealed that Lucy, Tennessee Gray's car, was imbued with some of the life force of Koskov's sister, Stasha, and that they had been repairing it for him over the course of the adventure. Straussler wanted to get the rest of the party out and on their way, and seemed to have a greater plan in mind as he was working for Nyarlathotep, the creature that they are desperately trying to stop, ? And he arranged passage for them on the RMS Moldavia, a ship bound for Australia, and the party are basically going to try and look into the shipping company who are responsible for creating this machine that is being built somewhere in Australia, has something to do with Nyarlathotep and the apocalyptic end of the world. So they've got to figure that out on the way. But if that wasn't enough for their problems, they also decided that Bruce, the medical assistant on board RMS Moldavia, had too much cocaine, by which I mean he had all of the cocaine on the ship, and they have decided to try and steal the cocaine back from Bruce in order to control the ship, to have some cocaine. The reasons are multivariate, they're complex. And no one can truly perceive Plan C aside from those within Plan C, who are currently, I think, Koskov and Catherine, at least. Tennessee is aware of it. I'm not sure if Lucian is fully aware of the extent of Plan C, but then who really is? Meanwhile, though, Tennessee Gray was having a conversation with Captain Shakti, who they also know to be a cultist working for Nyarlathotep, who's a captain of the ship. And he's promised that no harm will come to them while on board the ship, but it has certainly raised their suspicions as to everyone else on the ship potentially being a cultist as well. We ended things off with Catherine and Koskov with this brilliant plan, which potentially even they don't understand. That's how good it is to win back the cocaine from Bruce. I think they've already had some via Lucian. So here we are, and we picked the adventurer up sometime after last week's events. We are somewhere closer to Australia, but time is a flat circle. When you're cooking.
I was going to ask, how many days have passed?
Lucian would be aware.
This is for health reasons. I need to get health back.
Purely for addiction. It's been 2 weeks. Ernest.
I'm back. Cool.
You haven't seen Catherine or Koskov since their claims of needing to begin working on Plan C. You know that they've been locked away in a room working on something. Occasionally you'll hear sort of snorts, and occasionally you'll hear sort of giggles, maniacal laughter. Furious sketching, you can only imagine what's happening in that room, but you're pretty sure if you looked inside that you might lose some sanity. So let's hear first then from Catherine and Koskov. Tell us about Plan C, if you can.
All right, Koskov, I've sketched out our elaborate plan.
Yes.
Are you ready? I know we went through a lot of iterations of it and a lot of pieces of paper, but I think I've narrowed it down to 3 steps.
Well, I mean, our brainstorming session, I believe, will yield good results. Please, hit me.
Step 1. You and I are in our cabins next with Lucian and Tennessee in the cabin next door. We leave them alone. We don't tell them anything. We go down to the doctor's office to get the cocaine. So step 1, acquire the cocaine. Step 2, have all of the cocaine. You can't see anything because there's too much cocaine in here. That's just all cocaine. Step 3, profit. You and I take a lot of the cocaine and we sell whatever is left over by the time we get to Australia.
Da.
Do you need me to go over it again, or you think you've got it?
Now, when it comes to step 2, will the cocaine be like everywhere, or are we going to keep it in a contained area?
Well, I figured we'll put the bulk of it somewhere contained, because we have to be able to control it all. But I figured it's going to be snowing a little bit, if you know what I mean.
As a Russian, I have special fondness of snow. That's why I like this plan.
Step 2 is a really good step.
And In Russia, cocaine smells you in.
Definitely a top 5 step.
That I like. Now, when it comes to acquiring said cocaine,
Yes, step 1.
do you want to run a distraction, or do you just want to break in?
I was thinking we'd be very sneaky about it. We don't, we're going to be going at like 2 a.m. We're getting pretty close. So pretty much everyone should be asleep by that time.
Do we know where the doctor sleeps?
We don't. That's why I didn't put him on here. I'm hoping he has his own cabin and doesn't just sleep in the medical bay, because A, that's a little creepy. And then B, it just makes things more difficult. But that's another reason I'm thinking we should be asleep. Just be real quiet. Because if he is sleeping, we don't want to wake him up with a distraction.
In unfortunate incident of him being there, which one of us should seduce? Do you want me to seduce him? Do you want to seduce him? Or should we just kill him? I don't think we should kill him just yet. But
No, I'd rather not kill him. He seemed... he gave us cocaine originally, so he's obviously a dealer. He might come in handy for distribution when we get back, to port. But,
Right.
we could flip a coin to see who seduces him.
Okay. Heads
Alright.
or tails?
I'll take heads.
I figured. Heads it is. Hopefully it will not be tonight. Sorry.
She's gone. As soon as you flipped heads, she left.
Well, I guess I have to do plan myself.
2 weeks well spent.
And here we go.
Oh my god.
Well, I thought she was just staring at me for that joke. So
Yeah, me too. I wasn't tracking for a little while. There she
I'm
is.
sorry. Plan C was too much for my internet to handle.
we haven't even shipped cocaine yet.
I know. So I remember I said I'll take heads. Did you get heads or tails?
Well, you got heads.
All right then. I'll do my best.
At least once today.
All right. So, step 1.
Well,
Step 2. Step 3. Step 3 is the easy
like-
step, honestly.
let us do this.
All right, let's go.
This is,
So-
without doubt, one of the worst things we've done.
I'll bring the plan with
Okay.
us just for reference in case we forget what's going on.
So are you guys? So you open the door and you come out into blaring sunlight as it's just about dawn. You haven't seen real sunlight for a couple of weeks now, so it sort of burns and stings your eyes, like coming out the fucking Fallout vault for Catherine and Costco. So you probably decide to wait a bit longer. What time would you like to execute step 1?
I mean, I would say it would be in the evening after everybody would probably go to bed. I'm thinking Koskov might want to go today and chat up the doctor and see if maybe he wants to go to dinner or something like that, and like basically just try to get him drunk as shit. Like, because it's Koskov, he drinks all the time, but
If
he
he
figures
gets really
can
drunk,
get
he'll
this-
be really tired.
Yeah. You're tired and out of the way, and just to make sure that the med office is pretty clear.
Okay. You head over to the medical bay. Maybe Lucian's there actually, just like getting his top up from Bruce, seeing as he's been stopping in to check in every now and again about Lucian's like recovery. So Bruce is there, just handing you a packet of something snowy.
You
and
really
says,
want me to take that? Okay.
Bruce is just doing what Bruce does. All right.
Okay.
Take
Honestly,
that,
I
and
think
you feel a whole lot better.
I think the plan just asking him will be more successful than the original plan, but we'll go with it. Oh, thank you.
Spent 2 weeks on
Thank
this
you.
plan.
Thank you, Doctor. I think I'm almost ready. The majority of the pain is gone, and well, helps me. But thank you very much. Ah, good afternoon, Koskov. It was Koskov, right? When? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Good afternoon, Koskov.
Doctor. And Koskov kind of just like walks past Lucian.
Oh, hey, Koskov.
Mr. Bruce, just wanted to say, other day, had headache, you gave me some medicine, it helped. I just want to say thank you. Perhaps we can have dinner tonight and just talk about things.
What, just us?
Well, I mean, we could have it with others. I'm not asking you out to dinner, but, you know, just wanted to talk and say thank you to my good doctor, one who looks out for me. And he kind of like...
Well, why don't the three of us come? That'd be more pally then, wouldn't it? Doctor, you don't have any dinner plans tonight, do you?
Lucy's just about to leave, and he goes, well,
That'd be great then. All three of us. Dinner tonight. Well, stop by here. I'll cook something up for you.
Drop by here, like in Mythical Bay?
Yeah, I use a lot of the medical stuff for food as well. It's really good, if you know what I mean.
Oh, hey, da. I do like. Do you just spend all your time here?
Pretty much. I do have my own cabin back there, but, you know, when things get lonely.
Yes, these cruises, I imagine, can get pretty lonely.
Yeah. Well, this would be great, the three of us, for dinner. Invite anyone else along as well.
Maybe Catherine will come by too. Not sure. Do not want to speak for her. But, yes, what you say, like 6:30? Is that good?
6:30 it is.
You have a good day, Doctor. And he, like, Koskov walks and kind of pushes past Lucian. Doctor. And goes back to his cabin.
Lucian will leave, and before Koskov leave, he goes, Koskov, out of the shot of the eardrum, are you sure? Do you want me there? I could just say that I'm ill or something. I took a turn for the worse.
Oh, Doctor, I wouldn't want to put you out any. I mean, you should come. Why not? I don't see a reason.
Okay, fair enough. If that's what you think, fair enough.
Yes.
See you for dinner then.
See you for dinner. And then Koskov waits another half second, and then turns around and walks away.
Somewhat awkward because Lucian wants to go back to the cabin, and he's going back to the cabin. So it's kind of, just a little.
Is that thing where, like, you say goodbye, but you're going the same?
Yeah, we're going the same direction.
And Koskov makes sure to walk extra slow, and be in front of him the whole time, but not engage in conversation.
Also, for the past 2 weeks, I would have liked to have talked to Tennessee, mainly about the masks. To Lucian, it seemed very odd. Because Tennessee's the one who's got the masks, right? You're the one who holds onto the masks.
Yeah. So Tennessee has the masks. He has the blueprints, the book on the Great Machine, basically all of the stuff about the Great Machine. He's kind of been poring over these last couple of weeks, mostly to try to keep himself out of trouble. Whenever he finds himself around the crew, he starts to get really anxious. He sees cultists everywhere, and so he's kind of shut himself off for a lot of this trip and just poring over these crazy diagrams, trying to connect the masks to the blueprints.
Lucian will be helping him throughout this. It seems to be at least a bit of work that he can do, so we'll be helping him look through this. And he's going to be looking specifically at the masks and the reasoning for how we got out.
Yeah, the couple of weeks that you guys can spend on this. So the plans are super complex, even and probably with Koskov not being there, and he had quite a mechanical eye. It is a little tougher between the two of you to try and pass the information. But you definitely make out in the sketches or the blueprints that it seems like the rocket head has two sides. Each has a sort of imprint of a mask on it. Obviously, they'd be much bigger because his rocket is fucking huge. But basically, it seems like the masks correlate to one side as well. So almost like sort of jigsaw pieces fitting in the puzzle. It seems as the masks are necessary to the, or at least instrumental in the rocket, the Great Machine.
So I guess what I'm really interested in, and I'm happy to make a drive or a mechanics check or like an archaeology check if that's appropriate, is the aspect of these blueprints that involves some sort of sacrifice. Like, what's the fuel source? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Okay, yeah. It would actually be. It's probably more of an occult check than anything else.
Okay.
Yeah, you're already a cult.
Well, I am less good at that, but I will roll it.
Yeah, you never know.
Nope.
Not this time. So it's nebulous. It's sort of esoteric in nature as well. Parts of it aren't even in a language that you can read. So information is sort of sparse. There is definitely some kind of fuel source. You definitely managed to get before between you and Koskov that there is some amount of human sacrifice involved, as often there are in any kind of like occult ritual, some kind of bloodletting or sacrifice. But you can't figure out if there's a specific event when that has to happen, or if it's just more nebulous or potentially even sort of metaphorical, like there must be human suffering in order for this to happen. So it could be any of those. In which case, always human suffering. So maybe there's nothing that needs to happen.
Okay.
I'm not too sure.
During this, Lucian's going to lean back and rub his eyes after reading and helping. He's going to turn to Tennessee and he's going to. So, Tennessee. Overall plan here. We're here to stop this rocket, yes?
Yep, that's right, Doctor.
So if he holds up the mask, if this mask and this mask has something to do with the rocket, why don't we just destroy them? No masks, no rocket.
Well, we can try, but it's possible that by doing so, we'll hurt ourselves or hurt others. We don't know what these masks are capable of.
That's what has me worried. And what has me worried also is that Dr. What's his name? The asylum. Sorry, my head's still a bit... Straussner. Why would someone working for Nyarlathotep let us go if we're actively trying to stop Nyarlathotep? Everything... Apparently, we're going to do something to help, right? It doesn't make sense.
I only know what I believe, Doctor, and that's that they think that the longer we go on, the more in Nyarlathotep's role we're going to become. Now, you see here in this diagram, there are two sides to the rocket. There are two masks. Straussner himself was muttering to me when he was speaking to me about there being two sides, two heads to the snake. My belief is that this war between Nyarlathotep and Dunsborough is not what we think it is. That they are two sides of the same creature or similar creatures, that they both have similar or the same goals. So we can destroy these masks, but they're never going to stop until they don't exist. The only way that we're going to stop this machine from being built, Doctor, is by killing their followers, and if we can, killing whatever these creatures are too.
If I'm not mistaken, they said they have literally millions of followers, yeah? Around the world. I think that's
I didn't.
what someone told me. I don't know. I can't remember.
So
That's a very high
So they
number.
claim
So I
it
hope
is. Well,
that's not true.
But like you said, if it's like a snake, you cut off the head of the snake, and that kills it. So perhaps we should be aiming higher. Perhaps instead of all the little subordinates, killing them, we should go for the head of the snake, or two heads of the snake. I mean, your theory of them being the same person, Dunsborough and Nyarlathotep, they certainly do have the power pose. They're very similar in power-wise, and it's evident that no one is greater than the other, otherwise the other one would have just instantly killed them. So I think your theory about that holds some logic, as much logic as this whole situation can actually make.
Yeah, I agree with you. We have to cut the head off the snake, and we have anyone who gets in our way.
So
we have to stop them too.
So perhaps, quick question: do I have the diary? Do I have the book that I had before?
You do?
I do. So perhaps if you still concentrate on the machine and learn as much as you possibly can about that, and I concentrate on this diary and see if there's anything in here that could potentially help us in killing Nyarlathotep or Dunsborough or whatever the hell this thing is, we're covering both grounds then. I mean, there's no guarantee that I'm going to find anything, but I fear I kind of wasted looking at this machine. It's far way over my head.
Oh, well, all we have is time right now. And Doctor, I do want you to know that everyone on this ship that ain't us is one of them. So
I'm aware.
You be careful.
Don't you worry. If I can help it, I won't be going around alone anywhere. If I can help it. But I'll keep an eye out. Okay. And Lucian's gonna get out the diary. And he's going to start studying it.
Roll me a sanity check.
Naturally. Where's my sanity? I succeed.
Pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah. So you're going to spend a couple of weeks reading this?
I mean, yeah, I may as well. I mean,
Yeah, you got time.
I've got the time, primarily for things around Nyarlathotep or Dunsborough, whichever comes up, potential weaknesses or things that could potentially benefit us, kind of along those lines. I know it's a diary, not like a spell book or anything, so it's more like hints here and there that I'm looking for.
And you're reading Thomas, what's his name's diary, or Gavigan's?
Yeah,
I forget which one.
Gavigan's confession book. I got it right down, so it was Gavigan's.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he confessed to Mark's guy. You do also have his the spell book, by the way, Thomas Kinnery's.
I do?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe that's what I meant with book.
Yeah, that's probably what you meant. Yeah, let's got all the esoteric shit in.
Okay, I'll be concentrating on
spells.
that.
Yeah, so you'll
Actually, you know
also
what? I'll
be
be
able to...
cross-referencing the both.
Sure,
so
cross-reference.
yeah,
I mean,
you
the
know.
confession isn't really all that much. You know, it basically confesses to the crimes which he was accused of, and sort of tells a tale of, you know, him having done this for over a decade and all people he's killed or had killed or seen suffer during his times. It's quite a woeful account, really. But the book is far more interesting because it is actually esoteric in nature. It does speak to spells. It actually speaks to the mythos of Nyarlathotep, and you will gain, over the course of 2 weeks of reading this, you'll gain 5 Cthulhu mythos points, which is pretty sweet.
Ooh.
Yeah, you don't lose any sanity because you succeed on your sanity check. And yeah, you'll learn a bit more about, at the very least, what Kinnery's understanding of the creature is. And it's his understanding, at the very least, in what he writes in either the pages of the margin, in scribbled, somewhat insane notes, that you become attuned to and begin to understand his like method of writing, and you begin to be able to read his handwriting a lot better after reading it for a couple of weeks. You sort of enter into his mind a little bit through the pages of the book. Is that the creature is most certainly a deceiver above all else. That is what its nature is. It's a liar. It cannot be trusted under any circumstances. It once was in power in that it once was truly an embodiment of itself, but it was locked away, maybe even destroyed, but not fully. It seems like he describes it as though the creature fell asleep and went dormant for a very long time. And what they're trying to do is trying to wake it back up again fully. And the creature also has two aspects, which confirms, at least in part, the theory which Tennessee Gray has, that the creature is not just one being, it has two versions of itself. It can inhabit the body of people, which you already knew because it inhabited Augustus Larkin's body. And it seems, therefore, that it also now inhabits Dunsborough's body. So Dunsborough is no longer truly Dunsborough. He is, at least, probably for the most part now, the aspect of Nyarlathotep in flesh. So that much is true. You also hear talk of the two mirrors, which seem to be linked to the two aspects of Nyarlathotep as well. It's difficult to know. It may in fact be the same thing. The mirrors could be the two aspects of Nyarlathotep. A lot of it is sort of like symbolism and imagery and metaphors, so you're trying to interpret. It's a bit like trying to interpret like the Bible. There's a lot of different reasons that you could try to get through that. Is it actually allegorical, that kind of thing? So there's that. The creature delights in games of deceit as well, often playing off against itself. So again, that plays right into the theory that Dunsborough and the creature that says it is Nyarlathotep are the same thing and trying to get the same end, but it's arrogant enough to believe that it's the most intellectual and cleverest being around. Therefore, the only worthy opponent that it has is actually itself. Of course, they are shooting for the same end, which seems to be something like its awakening, but more so than that as well. What the creature wants is to bring the rest of its kin back to his empire. So Nyarlathotep, being some creature from somewhere else, seems to want to show the rest of its brethren the empire which it has created, which it rules over. And so it seems as though the device, the Great Machine, is a device to bring about what is called, or what Kinnery understands as the Great Race, and bring the Great Race back to Earth.
The rocket's one giant flare for some abyss cosmic force.
Some kind of abyssal flare, perhaps. Is maybe your sort of 1930s interpretation of like it's maybe some kind of radio signal that they can tune into, maybe some kind of beacon that these things called the Great Race can do. And they are said to be just like Nyarlathotep as well, like creatures of incredible intellect and great power of knowledge.
It's like War of the Worlds times a million. War of the Worlds was out by this time, right?
I have no idea, actually.
I think it was. I can't remember. It's old. It is now. By the way, I relay all this information over the few weeks because I'm kind of talking out loud to Tennessee, so he's hearing. So when I find something, I go to Tennessee and discuss it with him, and we bounce back and forth and kind of share as much information as I possibly can.
1897 is what Wikipedia tells me.
It's when the book.
Oh wow! So yeah. Oh wow! So that reference works.
Yeah.
And Tennessee would not take the more of this news. This is a lot that you've discovered over the course of a couple of weeks. This would drive him further and further into just this sort of like inward, withdrawn. He's definitely not handling things well, even though he's trying to appear as though he is. And he would again and again try to convince the doctor that they have to. The only answer to this problem is to find the people who are doing this and stop them, to kill them. That there's head cultists in Australia, and now he's starting to think that there's other cells, and they're just going to go from one place to another to another.
Mm-hmm. And Lucian's going to just come back and say and stick with, no, you got to go for cut the head off the snake, find the information from these people to get to the head. So it's kind of it's the same goal that they want, but just kind of different ways of going about it. And even if it gets to a bad point, Lucian will even suggest to Tennessee for him to take some laudanum if it helps calm him down. He won't push it on Tennessee. He will offer it, and it's up to him if he wants to take it. But he's saying that it's there.
Do you have laudanum?
I'm pretty sure. Well, I've got opium. I've got the drug.
I'll
That's
take
what
it.
I've been taking. Okay, yeah. So I'll administer it, and I'll be the one kind of like. So it'll be only a massive fits of anxiety or panic or whatever. And if I gave it to him, I won't give it to him again for another couple of days. Hey, I think it helps. Hey, it worked for me. So, you know.
It's better than cocaine.
Science. Actually, Lucian hasn't used the cocaine that he's been given.
just
He
kidding.
used it for a bit, and until the headache and things gone. And he's just keeping it for storage for medical purposes in case anyone else needs it for now.
Yep.
Or when the shit hits the fan, he just goes, fuck it.
Okay, so we know what Tennessee and Lucian have been working on. Let's cut to the evening of the dinner with Bruce. Who's showing up? Obviously, Koskov and Lucian. Catherine, Tennessee, are you guys going to show up to Bruce's party?
Yeah, Koskov would tell Catherine, he's going to cook dinner if you want a free meal before we, relieve him of supply.
If you put it like that, I wasn't going to, but I suppose I will now. I'm sure nothing terrible's gonna happen.
Nah.
And
It'll be good.
That'll be great.
And now maybe we can
Te-
put blame off on the doctor or someone else.
Right, they'll never suspect us.
Tennessee will join too if everybody else is going, but he looks disheveled. He smells worse than normal.
Oh.
He's not doing great.
Well, I don't have a great sense of smell right now anyway.
Yes. Nasal passages are a bit preoccupied as of late.
Allergies.
Bah. I am allergic to high seas.
Okay, so that evening you arrive at Bruce's medical station. And he's got basically the drug cabinet where you've seen him go and fetch everything from, which is in the back. And he's sort of laid out a medical table where he's been cooking up some steaks on a fire nearby. He seems to have kitchen equipment around, but it's semi-kitchen equipment, semi-medical equipment.
Just kind of Bunsen burner. And he's
Okay. Before we begin, I'm going to smell. What does this meat smell like? I'm going straight away. What does it smell like? Does it smell off?
Well, you just the smell of it smells delicious.
No.
It smells like roast pork. No, it smells like a steak. It's got pepper and spices and herbs and.
How about marbling?
Yeah.
Right, are we talking
market
against ribeye?
You can all roll a spot hidden to see what Bruce is
I'm
cooking
totally
up.
rolling. Yeah. Sure, why
Yeah.
not? Oh, no,
Just
I
because
can't
she's
see a
cooked
thing.
several meals before, she knows how this goes. Oh, but I don't succeed. Looks delicious. Yum.
Nah, looks delicious.
Looks quite good.
Tennessee got a 12.
Oh, it's success. Nice.
5 success.
Tennessee, you're not sure you've seen meat quite like this before.
Oh, fuck. Are some of the crew missing? You know, is there less crew?
Come on
As
in,
the
mate.
weeks
Come
go
on.
by.
Get a waft of this. Can you guess what it is?
Oh,
What is it? Chicken? Steak?
Smells delicious.
steak?
Pork?
It's more exotic than that.
Kangaroo?
Kangaroo!
Oh, I should have guessed. Should have guessed. Aussie.
Exactly. Can I get you all a beer?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
I'd love one.
Thank you.
He passes you all a beer and starts serving up the kangaroo.
Oh, it smells very nice. I've never tried kangaroo before.
Smells rather gamey.
It's really good stuff. It's not like anything you've ever had before.
Is it hard to catch? Is kangaroo considered most dangerous game? What do you say?
There are tougher things to catch, but I never stops old Bruce.
Oh, so you're a hunter?
I guess you could say so, yeah. When I'm on dry land and everything. But,
Of course.
you know, I do what I can out here as well.
Oh, so a little
Ah.
fishing and...
Ah,
There? So do you fish or not? I'm not sure what that noise meant.
I've definitely been known to fish, mate, yeah. Cool. Some real beauties out here. So,
Right.
Koskov, what was it you wanted to chat about? I mean, it's great to have the company.
Well, it's just a long voyage. You were very helpful when we first arrived, helping with, you know, my compatriots. And, you know, just wanted to say thank you and share camaraderie.
That's real great. I guess, like I say, it does get lonely out here. You know, it's just
Well.
you and the crew, and you get hungry, and there's no one else to eat with. And,
Do you not eat with the other members of the crew? Do you not get on with them?
Oh, well, you know, I keep myself to myself. A couple of the other lads are a bit weird, if you know what I mean.
Oh, weird. In what way?
Well, you know, you catch them getting strange looks to you every now and again, and can't help but think they've been poking their noses around a group of years for a while now as well. Can't say I
see.
trust that captain neither.
Oh? Should we be wary?
I don't know. Just looks kind of weird to me. Always smiling. Never trust someone that smiles all the time.
Never.
How often have you done this journey? Quite a while? Quite often?
Oh, ton of times. Yeah.
And how
I can't
long
even
has the
count it.
captain? How long has the captain been in charge?
Not so long. Maybe the
Oh.
past couple of journeys.
What happened to the old captain? He retired. He took him out to dinner.
He was a big fisherman himself. No, he's on. He's back in Australia now, retired. That'll be
nice.
me in a few years.
Mm.
Put
then
out
he
the
left.
pasture, so to speak, huh?
Exactly.
How is Australia for retirement?
Wow.
Here there's interesting places there.
Some beautiful places. It's beautiful places. A lot of land. Good people. Good beer. Good meat.
Oh. Good to know.
Are you a
Makes the bears
cultist?
What? What's that? Mate?
You heard me.
Well, Tennessee,
Are you a religious man, Bruce?
Oh, religious man. Sure. I believe in God and everything. Don't you?
I believe in him. Yeah, of course I do. What church you claim?
You know, I don't claim any particular church or sect. Just consider myself a religious man, you know. Got to believe in a big fella up in the sky, don't you?
So very spiritual. It's not one denomination that you go for. You just believe that there is a higher power that overlooks us all.
I guess you could say that. Was baptized and all, but you know, ain't much got out on the seas, you know.
Oh, I mean, speaking of, how did this ship sink last time?
Oh, I think it was taken down by in First World War by a German boat. At least that's what I heard.
Oh.
And yet here we are.
I don't rightly know how they brought her up from the bottom of the ocean, but must have been some pretty big job.
Technology these days is getting better and better.
Absolutely.
Yes, this is not 19th century anymore.
I mean, it is a great machine, this thing, and I'm a big fan of great machines. You know, so
Oh, absolutely.
RMS Moldavia is glad that she's still sailing.
Oh, give it a few years. I'm sure we'll be flying to the moon at one point, I'm sure.
That's a bit much.
Well, you know, we took to the airs not too long ago. The next step is a little higher. You never know.
I have
Consider me skeptical.
I have to begrudgingly confer with the doctor here. I do agree. Those first planes, barely could keep in the air. Now, not too long later,
Yeah.
plane is good.
Anyway, anyone want to do some cocaine?
Well, of course.
Obviously.
I mean, I put some in the kangaroo already, but
Well,
I would be.
put it-
I'd be okay with just the amount in the kangaroo. I don't want to do too much.
you heard what I said.
You know.
Tennessee looks at Dr. Lucian with like a question in his eyes, like, can I take this cocaine with the opium that I'm already taking?
He probably would shake his head and say he wouldn't recommend it. You just shake his head.
and then you look over to
He looks at you
Koskov and he's
harder.
like,
No, he's gonna
Alright.
shake his head. It's not a good mix.
cocaine with anything.
We'll just see
is
how the
good.
night goes.
Is the doctor sharing in any kind of libations? Like,
Mhm.
okay.
Yeah, he's got a bit.
Okay. Well, Koskov will down the first one and like see if we can get another round going. As he's going to try to push fast forward on the getting the doctor to drink.
Yeah, he's quite happy to get rip-roaringly drunk with the group of you. Are you guys drinking along with him?
Yes, we're doing that thing where like we're drinking, but you know, we're acting.
Nursing.
At least Koskov is acting. He's nursing while acting a little
Yeah,
more.
Catherine's the
tipsy
same. She's assassinated people before. She knows it's harder to do it when you're sloshed. So
Yeah, Lucian's
make it more
just.
tricky.
He only took the beer to be social. He's not really drinking it. It's not his kind of drink. He's more of a wine drinker.
The worst. Okay, Bruce is gonna. Let's see what Bruce's con's looking like. All right, so like you spent a couple hours with Bruce, but he's Australian and sailor, which is lethal combination of the amount of alcohol that he can consume. So you know you've spent like 3 hours with Bruce, and he's telling you for the 4th time all about everything that he does here on the ship, and you know where he's come from and how he got started, and you know what his retirement plans are and stuff like that. It's kind of dull at this point. In the 4th time round, really has hammered home the point. But he doesn't seem like he's going to stop anytime soon.
Yeah, at about 2 hour mark, I think Lucian's going to excuse himself and say he's going to head to bed to get the rest. He'll look at Tennessee if he wants to join me.
Yeah, I'll walk with the doctor.
There's a lot of eye contact and happening.
It's
a lot of
awful
messages
lonely
going
out
back
here
and
on the
forth.
seas.
Well, we share a cabin, and whether you would take the.
I'll go with you. Doctor.
Anyway,
yeah, of course.
okay, good.
Be sure
Thank
to
you
put
so
sock
much
on
for the
handle.
evening.
And he'll lean over to the doctor as they're kind of excusing themselves and whisper, "Doctor, don't you think it's kind of strange that we'd be eating kangaroo when we're on our way to Australia? Where did he get the kangaroo?"
Well, I would imagine it came from Australia in the first place, and that's probably why they stocked up and then came over.
That's something. Why is that normal to stock up on kangaroo meat for?
Well, I don't know. I'm not a sailor. Well, if you freeze it, I'm sure it's fine. It's meat. Freeze meat and it'll be fine. I don't know. I'm not a sailor. Maybe we should talk to the crew.
I don't know either.
I don't think
I don't want
it's
to
a
talk to
good
them.
idea.
They're all
Yeah.
cultists.
Yes, exactly. They'll probably say they've got tentacles down in the freezer and they eat or something like that.
Yeah, you're right. We should just go back to the room.
Yes, let's go back to the room, yes.
I don't like this.
So Koskov and Catherine, you're deep within the plan, step one of Plan C. Bruce, however, seems to be somewhat obstinately talking your ear off,
Sober.
and it's probably gone like midnight right now, and he's pouring more drinks, and he's on the harder stuff now, the liquors, but
Oh, that's better.
doesn't seem like
There we
he's slowing them down at all.
Okay. Well, in that case, we need to accelerate things. So,
We do.
Koskov will introduce a Russian drinking game that involves lines of cocaine and shots and beers, and so he's I'm basically going to try to see if I can get him
I'll
to
referee.
do. Yeah. We call this Molotov challenge. You take beer, and you have shot, and you have line of cocaine. Okay, so in one breath,
Okay.
you must take shot, breathe in line, and down beer. All before I do. It is race. It will burn. That's why it's called Molotov. But trust me, it is worth it.
Sounds great. So Bruce is going to have to make a hard constitution roll, which he does fail. So after, like the fifth round of this, Bruce is, he's past tipsy, and Bruce is now quite drunk.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Well, this is when we start the Russian drinking songs, and because once you start singing, you get a little lightheaded from all the oxygen, and you get people to start drinking more. And Koskov is going to kind of give the eye to Catherine, look at the bottle, and then look at the can of beer, and then look at the bottle, and then look at the can of beer, and try to get her to pour out his beer and pour liquor in the can of beer instead of beer.
Yeah, Catherine will be
To be
like,
the nightcap.
let me pour the next round for us. And
Yeah,
she'll
and
pour
then
everybody's drinks.
we'll get that
Look at herself
together.
a
And
Costco beer and just fuck.
Right.
let us have nightcap. Down the hitch, and we'll take our last beer.
Oh yeah, and Bruce fails spectacularly and falls backwards in his chair and starts to snore.
Perfect.
And Koskov downs his beer and throws it over his shoulder. All right, let's
Catherine
play
will
and
smash
speak of
it in the
meats.
floor. Lancy, she'll pull it out. It was like rolled up her sleeve the whole time, so she just pulls it out. We've got this.
Well, yes, we are in step one as we speak. Let us move on to step two. Did it seem like the doctor? Did it seem like he ever pulled out like keys or anything when he went into his medicine area?
Yeah, he's got a set of keys that are on his person.
I'll get
yeah.
the keys off of
Okay.
him.
Yeah, we'll get the keys, and Koskov, while Catherine has got the keys going, Koskov is going to begin the next improv phase of step 2, which is making it look like we went on the craziest fucking bender inside this room ever. Like, he's party trashing this entire med bay, and he's gonna take Bruce and like put him in a different level of disheveled whatever. Hey, I will leave that to you.
Fine.
And
we did flip the coin.
Yeah. You got hit. Yeah, we're gonna make it look just nuts in here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you make it look like something horrific happened in here. Although it already kind of did.
We just exaggerated a little bit.
It's not a large leap.
Catherine will put some lipstick on a couple things, just there we go. Make it look like real crazy.
Mm-hmm. And then we just need to go and look and see how much cocaine we can get.
Yeah, you open up the cabinet, and it's just like stocked from top shelf to bottom shelf with cocaine, which doesn't I guess wouldn't have the same value as it would nowadays, seeing as it's not totally a legal substance. Yeah, so it's more like a medical cabinet, but still, it's like that's a good couple of months maybe for the two of you.
Mm-hmm. I will go find flour. I will go through his cooking supplies and find flour. And he's going to go and try to find some sugar or flour or something. Now, do we want to do the riskiest thing, which is remove cocaine? Mm-hmm. Of course, we are going to put it on our faces and his face. Of
course.
Splattered around the table. But do we want to do coup de grace, which is we take cocaine away and then we come back and let us pass out here at scene of crime?
Oh, that's very sneaky. I'll never expect it. I like it. All right. Take it all. She opens up her purse, which is empty except for like two of the makeshift shivs she's done so far. Like Catherine's arts and crafts is all just impromptu weaponry, which she's been doing. So she'll open it up, start. Cocaine.
And while she's doing that, Koskov, he's got one bag, and he's just kind of sprinkling it here, putting it on the table, putting a line here, putting it all over Bruce's face, sniffing a little bit himself as he's doing this, and he's just, he's going to make this whole fucking medbay look like a snow globe. So, it's... I want to make it plausible that we maybe almost all three of us OD'd last night on cocaine. So, whether or not he accepts it, considering there's no way we'd really be able to sleep, but whatever. We also drank it.
We also did, yeah. We should drink some more before we go to sleep.
I'm just getting started.
Oh, good.
And, we continue to cue the party montage.
Mm-hmm. We go stuff it all back, Catherine just sews it into the mattress and their bugs. And just stashes it all, and then they come back and brought us a little bit left to,
So do you want to be there when Bruce wakes up?
What do you think about the plan? It is risky, but it is a risk reward.
We're on step 3 now, which is definitely profit. So...
Well, do you want to be here, or do you want to go back to cabin?
Well, if we go back to cabin... we can keep an eye on our current stash of cocaine a little better. We pass out here, we look less conspicuous, potentially.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If we're here, it's like, oh shit, we had crazy party last night. What is happening? We obviously did a lot of cocaine.
Sure. Why not? Just look equally trashed.
Equally trashed. And here is other thing.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure that top row, when we replace cocaine in medicine chest, make sure top row is actual cocaine, so it takes him a while to figure out that cocaine is missing. Most thieves take all, never take all.
Take it all.
Look like
you gotta be smart about it.
So kids, if you need to know how to steal, that is how. Just don't take it all.
Costco looks to the camera for a second.
So the top
For
row is
hard
cocaine,
coke.
the rest is all just flour in packages, and we're just like, there we go, all the cocaine.
The more you know. All right.
And Catherine
So,
will
yeah.
be like, here, you gotta get a little bit of this on your face, and she'll smear off some of her lipstick and just like mom thumb it onto his face. There, now we look crazy, Bender.
Da. We will tell him we will never speak of the things we did this night.
Agreed.
All right. And yeah, then we get really fucked up and pass out in the med bay.
Yeah.
So yeah, you know, that next morning, then Bruce sort of wakes up along with the rest of the two of you, and he's like, "What the hell just happened in here? Oh no!"
And then like 10 seconds later, Koskop's like, "Oh, what the hell? Oh,
Oh,
His
my head
last name-
hurts.
oh, good, god damn, Bruce. This is the last time I drink with Australian. Okay, I'm sorry.
Oh,
It is testament to your constitution. Fuck.
I thought I could keep up because I was Irish. Apparently, I was wrong. Oh,
All right.
This was the greatest night ever, legendary. I haven't had so much fun in years. I mean, we got to do this
Yeah.
again tomorrow.
He's definitely got his pants off, and she's definitely left like a lipstick print on his like inner thigh and stuff. She's like, let's never talk about the things that we did last night again.
Wait.
Oh,
What did we do? Catherine.
Koskov,
Yes, let us never talk about
let's
this.
not talk about this. Yes, and definitely not tell Tennessee or Lucian.
don't worry,
That
my
would be very
lips
awkward.
are sealed. But I'll see you all again tonight.
Yes,
Sure.
yes, we'll be right there. And Koskov
All right,
like
mate.
runs outside.
Catherine will just like button up her blouse like, the rest of the way, and then just kind of brush off some cocaine off her shoulder and just try to walk out half composed.
And as Catherine walks off and Koskov is finishing throwing up, which he is, it's a good way to start
Yeah.
the morning.
Mm-hmm.
He turns around and he's just like, ugh, and his face just kind of straightens and he's like, Plan C.
Plan C. She'll high five him.
And then we'll walk back to the
To a room.
cabin
Yep.
and do some cocaine.
All right. So presumably the rest of the trip is that. Bruce comes and knocks every day to see if you guys want to hang out tonight. All right, I'll come back later.
Bruce, I still have hangover. It has been like 3 days,
It's
and
been
my
3
hangover
days.
has not gone away.
Oh.
So, maybe tomorrow.
All right. And again, the next day he comes back, and the next day after that. But it's okay because you guys have an unhealthy amount, if there even is a healthy amount of cocaine to have, that's stashed away in your bed.
Well, according to modern medicine, 4% is about the extent for medicinal use. So, probably more than that.
Step two has somewhere like 4,000%. So I will need both of you to make hard Constitution rolls.
This is where we die.
Yeah. This most certainly is.
I'm so tempted to crit it, but I kind of just want to see what happens.
I'm the exact same way.
I know.
Fuck it.
Yeah. All right.
Oh!
Oh,
69.
good number though. Good number. Let's see. Oh no!
That's literally the
This isn't Pulp Cthulhu, but it just became Pulp Fiction and Call of Cthulhu.
Oh no!
It's all fun and games, my friends, until you roll a crit fail and how much cocaine your body can take. As a, oh my god.
I know
So
Mark
Catherine's
has
like
said
this-
for you to carry on and have fun, but that's ridiculous.
I should have just used the 20.
I need 20 cc's of adrenaline, spit.
Catherine's like 5 foot, but she's like taking in just like packets of cocaine over the past next couple of weeks that you guys are alone. And Koskov, you feel awful after you are incredibly addicted to this incredibly addictive substance. So whenever you're not taking it, you feel like shit. Whenever you are taking it, you feel great for a little while, and you're gonna feel awful. Catherine, however, is in a much worse state. You don't know what happens. Your time melts away as this abstract concept, and everything moves around you like an oil painting. But at some point during the trip, you watch as Catherine passes out, and you think she's like foaming out the mouth a little bit. She doesn't seem to be awake.
Oh shit. Okay. Koskov's gonna like bang on the wall. Just be like, doctor! And then he goes over, because like unfortunately in his trade, he knows exactly what's happened. So he takes a little coke and puts it on his gums to get through this situation. And he's gonna put Catherine on the bed. He's gonna put her on her, put something in her mouth so she doesn't swallow her tongue or bite it off or anything. And he's like patting her on the face. And he's knocked on the wall to try to get Dr. Lucian
Doctor!
next the door.
Lucian will
And who
come
knows
around,
what time of day or night
but
it is?
he will cautiously knock the door, because he knows. He'll knock the door. Koskov?
Get in here.
He'll open the door. What? And he'll look at Catherine and kind of like...
Do you have
training
adrenaline?
Instantly kicks in. I'll be right back. And he'll
We
run
need
in,
adrenaline.
get his bag, come through, and then get to work.
Yeah. And Koskov just this whole time has just been like patting her on the face and like trying to wake her up.
She probably calls you Marcus a couple times.
Oh, Catherine. Oh, please don't do that.
What would you like me to roll?
I like to roll a first aid check first of all, Doctor.
First
Never
aid?
thought we'd have to do a reversal on Call of Cthulhu. But...
that is
Hey!
16, a hard success.
Okay, so you stabilize her from like choking to death on her own, like vomit or whatever is going on there. So she's not immediately going to die, but you will need some help on this, and there's only one person on the ship who can help you.
I go to Koskov, you're going to need to get Bruce for this.
Well, he's been coming by anyway, so maybe we'll invite him over tonight. What time? Actually, what time of day is it? I'm asking in earnest because I don't know.
It's like 3 a.m.
It's early in the
Okay.
morning.
on like a Monday night. Like you're overdosing at 3 a.m. on a Monday night. Like
It's a good way to start the week. Can only go up from here. So basically, Koskov is going to put away all of their coke, and
Back in the mattress.
put it back in the mattress, and then he will head out to wake up Bruce. Basically, just be like, Catherine got it into some bad coke. I told her to come get it from you, but she got it from someone else on the ship. I think it was cut with something. Not sure. We need adrenaline.
Bruce is like up, and there's just like one light shining on Bruce's face as he's like sitting at his desk in pitch black, and he's got this like baseball bat that he's been like slapping into his hand over and over again. Like, Catherine's in danger. He stands up, and
She
the light
needs your
sort of
help.
illuminates just this part of his face for a second. I'm there, and he rushes off.
Okay. And Koskov won't say it, but he will allude that, obviously she needs help. You could be her hero tonight.
Right, I could be your hero, baby. So yeah, he rushes off and rushes into the room where Catherine is sort of like unconscious in Lucian's arms, and he's like, "Come on, we've got to get her back to the medical bay."
All right, I will. Yes, probably should have just brought her. Excuse me. And Koskov, I mean, he's big. He can carry her, so he'll carry her to the medical bay.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so yeah, you bring Catherine over to the med bay where Bruce and Lucian start working. Lucian, you can roll me a medicine check.
Okay. Oh my fucking god.
Oh, no.
Come on, it's 3 a.m.
And Bruce... Oh no, not much better.
Fuck, we're losing her. We're losing her.
So she's unconscious, she's not coming back awake. You're sure she's not gonna choke on anything, but like she could be having a heart attack or something here. She's really not in a good place. And you and Bruce are like fumbling over it. He's like, I don't know what to do! I'm not a real doctor, I just have cocaine.
What? You're not a real... Get out of the way!
It fixes everything.
And then Lucian
Maybe we should give her some. Maybe we should give her some cocaine, doctor.
This is obviously not the best course of action. Doctor, and he like looks at Ernest. You need to do something now. Please.
I am doing everything I can, Koskov. And he'll continue working all through the night, just non-stop, doing everything he could possibly can.
Don't make me give the Ed Harris speech from the Abyss, please.
Give me another medicine check, Doc. That's more like it.
It is like that scene in Pulp Fiction.
It is.
This is for sure the worst thing we've ever done. So Lucian, over the course of the next couple of hours, like you're like damn sure at this point that Catherine has had a heart attack. Okay, like you're like super sure that's what's happened, but it hasn't killed her. And you, with a little assistance from Bruce over the course of the night, managed to nurse her back to stabilization at the very least.
Bruce was probably hampering me because I was going, okay, do this, Bruce. You know what to do. And then I'm going, and then he fucks it up.
You forgot he wasn't a real doctor. You just kick him out, and you're like, "Got this."
He's like you tell him to do something. He's just like sprinkling cocaine. On
What are you doing?
But by the time that it comes around to the dawn again, Catherine is alive. She's barely conscious. She needs to sleep a whole lot, and I honestly don't know what medical science says about addiction in 1930s, but it tells me that something tells me that it's not great. So you don't have a cure for.
Oh no, she is going to get the shakes.
Yeah.
She's been binging.
After this night, Koskov, he would realize that this is why you don't do your own stash. So he would take all the cocaine in their room, and he realizes that this is probably a bad thing, but he's going to have to endure it as well. And he's going to go to Tennessee and basically be like, Tennessee, I need you to do me a favor. And he opens Catherine's bag that's just full of cocaine. I need you to hide this from Catherine and I until we don't want it anymore. Then we will sell it, and things will be fine.
Do not take that job.
I'm not it.
You will die.
Yes, I need you to hide the drugs from the murderers on this ship until we don't want them anymore. While we go through withdrawal.
I genuinely don't know what the fuck this episode is anymore. I genuinely don't know.
Is that correct?
It makes complete sense to me.
It does.
Yes. It is all
Are
of
you
it.
sure?
Nah.
I'm gonna roll a psychology check. Another thing that I'm awful at.
You tell the truth.
All right.
Gusko wouldn't lie about this.
So.
You can trust me.
Koskov never lies about drugs.
All right, Koskov. Yeah, I'll hide it from you. Hey, I heard some commotion last night with the doctor. Everything okay?
Well, we will eventually. By the time we get to Australia, probably. Catherine, it was a bit overzealous, I guess is the word you could use. Had a bit of a hiccup last night, and had to reverse. Don't worry about it. She'll be fine. We just need to not have cocaine for a while.
All right. I feel like we're coming apart at the seams here, Koskov. We still have to make it all the way to Australia, and we still have work to do when we get there.
Tennessee, I get bored easily, okay? And I fall into old habits. This is not anything new.
Let me provide you, just spitballing here, an alternative. This ship is a ghost ship. It has been risen from the sea, and I've been thinking an awful lot about something that fella Bruce said at dinner, however many nights ago that was. He said that this is a great machine. That's the exact same language that these blueprints refer. What if this ship is the machine? The thing that we're trying to stop.
And we are taking it to Australia, where we don't want it to be.
Are we? How long does it take to get to Australia?
A long ass time.
Couple months.
I've never been.
I have only been once. It was not good, but I was coming from Russia, so slightly different route. But it takes a while.
Will, have we stopped off in ports anywhere that would confirm that? No.
You haven't taken a single stop.
I think what I'm suggesting, Koskov, and I know we talked about this before, and you made some good points, but I think it's time we take this ship for ourselves.
Well, how about these?
And then destroy it.
We still have time till we are supposed to arrive. My accent, so.
What if we're not going to Australia? What if they have something else in store for us?
Well, that is a good question. I do not know how to navigate by stars, but that would maybe be one way to check to see where we are.
We could always keep one of them alive, at least like partially alive, and.
So you're talking about killing everyone?
Yeah, all of them except for one.
Well, I mean, it's one way to do it. It would keep my mind off cocaine. How about these?
I know you wanted to,
How about before we do that, we go have a look around, see if we can't find some kind of mechanism or whatever. I have a fairly sharp mind with such things when I am not snowed in, shall we say. And maybe we could find some evidence to support your theory. And if this is a magic ghost ship thing, then yeah, we kill everyone and we take.
All right. Well, I mean, the captain told me it was, and he admitted to being a cultist. Not making it up, but we should. I think it's probably time when we explore the ship. We've been here for weeks, a month. I don't even know how long anymore.
It's been a little while. So we just need, a few days, maybe a week. We'll be good.
Before? Oh. You need time to recover.
Yeah, run me a hard power check, Koskov.
Hard power check. You know what? I'm gonna use a 20. So are we gonna do the thing? Okay.
No, that's good. It's good. This one's not too contentious. You're like holding. You're going to be able to hold off the urges for a little while, at least. It's going to get harder the longer you abstain. But it's been a couple of hours looking after Catherine. It's been maybe like 8 hours since then. So you're like starting to feel the itch again, but you're able to push it down.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I'm not going to go after my emergency backup stash that I have hidden yet. Kalskov. He understands what's going on. He just doesn't care normally. That's the difference between him and most people. He knows what he's doing. He just knows that it's not the best for him. But who gives a shit?
He can stop any time.
I can stop anytime I want.
Okay. So the next day, Catherine, you sort of come back to consciousness. And Dr. Ernest has been like reading the book, and while he's been waiting for you to wake up.
Oh, Catherine, and he'll close the book and head on over. How are you feeling?
What happened?
You overdosed on cocaine.
What?
And you had quite a nasty heart attack as well.
You're fooling with me, right, Doctor? And then she'll kind of try to sit up a little and be like, "Oh."
And he'll gently put it down. No, I wish I was. Yeah, I wish I was, Catherine,
right.
But no.
Well, maybe we could just do a much smaller dose of cocaine, and I'll feel a lot better right now.
I would imagine that we would have to wean you off it. Yes.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's just... Can I have some?
No.
Please? No?
No, not at the
you
moment.
Sure?
Yes, I'm
How long
very
do I
sure.
Wait?
I will decide when you can. Whether or not you listen to me is another thing, but...
I do have a very large stash in my purse. In my room.
Is the purse near here? Oh, it's in your room, okay. I was getting worried then.
No, I never planned on being more than 3 feet away from it, but then apparently I'm in the mid-bay?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the purse I gave to Tennessee.
Oh, I see. So you're going to have to take it easy, most probably for the rest of the trip. The come down is not going to be pleasant, which I don't know if you've ever had cocaine before. Have you had cocaine before?
I've dabbled more in opium.
More opium? Well,
can I have some of that?
No, you can't. Basically, you're just going to have to bite through it, Catherine. It's not going to be pleasant. But
it seems like cruel and unusual punishment.
It's what doctors mainly do, yes.
Fine. I'm going to go rest in my room.
Okay, before you do that, if you just stay here, just rest for a little while longer.
All right.
I'll make sure everything's all set up for you, so you can basically just go straight into bed, yes?
Fine.
Please, Catherine, do not leave this room, please.
I won't leave the room. This room, till you tell me my room's ready.
I don't want to leave you in this room now, I'm getting worried.
It's perfectly
Don't
fine,
worry,
Doctor.
Doc, I'll look after her. Bruce comes back in.
Bruce.
He's been waiting outside, listening in.
Bruce, do me a favor. Go get Koskov for me. Go get him from his room.
You sure? You sure?
Yes, I'm absolutely... No, Bruce, just go. Just go,
Catherine's
please.
definitely eyeing the medical cabinet.
Just go.
Bruce eyes the medical cabinet too, and then he goes and finds Koskov. Where is Koskov? Is he trying to go cold turkey, or...?
Yeah, Koskov, he's kind of just walking around the ship, just trying to keep to himself, doing various mental exercises that whenever he's trying to get off of something or trying not to kill someone, counting back from 10, things like that. And so Bruce would find him eventually, just kind of wandering around.
Hey, Koskov, Dr. Ernest said that he needs you because Catherine's woken up.
Oh, it's good. And Koskov kind of just pushes past Bruce.
Yeah.
And
So, Koskov, you arrive at the medical bay.
Okay, yeah, just kind of bust in, and Koskov would like go up to Catherine, and it seemed genuinely like, you know, concerned. Like, are you okay? Are you feeling better?
I'm very sore. But aside from that, you know, I just feel like maybe if we did a little cocaine. I mean, the doctor, Lucian says I can't have any until he says I can have some again. But I'm just thinking maybe just a...
Well, Catherine, seriously though, you almost died last night, and I know you had a rough go lately, and I know how some would react to that. I just hope that this is not what you wanted.
No, Koskov, I didn't want to overdose on cocaine.
Well,
we were having a great time.
Well, we were, but sometimes great time can be too great time, and then you have to stab needle in heart and revive people. And
that's why my chest is sore. Oh, God.
Well, yes, you probably have some cracked ribs. It happens. But maybe you know, we could take a small break.
She's gonna look back at the doctor like, you talked to him about this, didn't you? Like, give Lucian the look like...
No, Catherine, this is all me. My teeth are itching too. But, so that we can have more fun times, maybe let us just back off a little.
Alright, we'll take a cocaine break.
Well, just to take a coke vacation.
Take a drug vacation for a while.
Sure.
Let's get cleaned up, do some sit-ups, some push-ups, have a montage. We'll feel better in no time.
I was meaning to ask, I think it would be better and more comfortable for Catherine if she was in her room, more privacy and stuff. There isn't anything in there that, you know, there aren't more drugs in there, are there?
Doctor, I have already taken care of. You do not trust me?
No, I just wanted to make sure that you had time too. You know, I didn't want to send her there just in case.
We're good. Catherine, do not worry.
Okay. So, Catherine, if you're feeling up to it and enough strength, we can assist you back into your cabin, but I would highly recommend that you have as much rest as humanly possible and just stay hydrated and try to...
By hydration, you mean... water?
Water. Yes, water.
There is water in beer, no?
I mean, I can't stop you doing anything, but as a doctor's recommendation, I highly recommend you drink water.
I'll drink water today, and then we'll ease into a water-like beverage tomorrow, called a beer.
It's up to you, Catherine. Okay?
I feel like that's a good compromise.
Please, come on. And Koskov will...
She'll kind of wince and get up. She's trying not to look like, ow, this really fucking hurts, but you can definitely tell. Ow, this really fucking hurts. And then she'll shuffle on
I'd be
back
surprised you can barely breathe. Fucking heart attack.
You're
like probably halfway back to the room on the walk. She's probably like, yeah, I think a cocaine break might be a good idea.
Yeah. I cannot even pour my fake vodka.
Okay, so bit of a time jump there where we see how well you guys are doing with kicking the habit here. Catherine and Koskov, when he's back, you can roll a hard power check to see how well you're doing.
I'm scared to roll this now after what I rolled last time. All right.
You're like, oh, cocaine will be so fun. We won't have any bad negative consequences.
Oh no, I knew there was going to be. I just didn't expect to roll a 100. I was like, I'll be fine. So
that was bad.
Oh, there you go.
That's pretty good.
That's a definitely a hard success, extreme success even.
A hard power roll for you as well, Koskov, if you will.
Hard power roll. Do I want to...
I rolled an 11. That's very good.
All right, I'm going to roll this one. I used an at 20 last time, so I'm going to let Lady Luck decide. Oh, I shouldn't have done that.
Okay, so yeah, by the course of maybe weeks go by, a couple of days, and while Catherine's doing okay, and the doc's regularly checking in on the both of you, maybe Tennessee's helping out here as well. Koskov, you are really getting the crave right now, and you know what you have to do in order to get well. So it's becoming very difficult for you to resist your temptation now.
My secret stash. Yeah. Thinking maybe after a week, Koskov would probably be like, "Oh, it's been a week. Maybe I'll just..." and he like sneaks off. And he comes back, has maybe a little dusting on his mustache when he gets back. Mm-hmm. But he's a lot calmer.
So
I noticed this.
Are you trying to hide it, Koskov?
I think it's more if he doesn't. It's just a thing where he just did it really quick and he doesn't really realize it.
Right.
Koskov.
Yeah, so you would. Well.
You had a little something right there. Thought we were taking a break.
Oh, I did not know mustache could get dandruff. What is this? Oh, that's damn this thing. How are you feeling?
I'm actually feeling better. Feeling all right.
Yeah, me too. I'm feeling great. Yeah, it's good.
Mm-hmm.
It's good times. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. We're taking a break, Koskov. Both of us.
What we are doing.
Mm-hmm. Just keep an eye on that mustache dandruff.
I will do this.
Right?
I am weak. I apologize.
It is all right.
You caught
me. On the shoulder.
It was not dandruff. It was cocaine.
I figured it was. Just at least it wasn't the doctor of Tennessee catching you doing it. I'm not going to tell him. Yeah.
No.
Just.
If it's any consolation, I only had the one backup stash, and I used it. So, I don't.
All right. Well, now you have to.
Well, we could always tie down Tennessee and tell him where I told him to hide our drugs.
Oh,
so
he's got it. We'll see if it comes to it. I'm not going to say no, but I'm feeling pretty good right now. So we should try to at least get 3 weeks. We're 1 week down. Well, an extra week. Yeah. All right.
Let's start looking at shit like Tennessee. Yes, whole month.
Right. Yeah.
Flashback to like 2 weeks ago or whenever, the first time, like the moment that Koskov left, Tennessee dumped all of the cocaine overboard.
I knew he was gonna do that. Well done.
Catherine's gonna be snorting like crumbs in her purse, like. She's like, all right, so let's keep busy. We just have to keep busy. What are we going to do to keep busy, Koskov? To keep our minds off of this?
Tennessee wanted to look at ship. Let's maybe get him and go have a look.
All right, let's do that.
Okay, so grouping up, I guess now. The group comes to Tennessee, who has hatched a plan, and now you think it's at least been a month that you've been on the ship. You're really used to the life on the ship now. Have a few people on the ship, yeah. Haven't seen any, haven't gone into any ports since. Occasionally you'll see Captain Shakti patrolling around the ship by his captain's cabin, but you haven't really explored the ship other than like the upper decks that you've been hanging out in. So you meet at...
What about the rest of the crew? Like, have we seen, are there other, is it a large crew?
Yeah, there's a fairly substantial crew, at least 50 people that you've seen about on above deck, so presumably there are more below who sort of come and go. And not all of them seem to be in like active roles either. It seems like some of them are just sort of like hanging out as well, and sort of just waiting for shift changes, that sort of thing. So there's plenty of crew people about. Yeah,
There
but we
aren't
haven't
any
really interacted
just-
with them too much yet.
Doing nothing, like just hanging around, like passengers.
No,
They're all workers.
no. They all appear to be workers,
Okay.
or at least paying for their way by doing some work here as well. But that's basically the upper decks. You haven't ventured down into the lower decks. You do know that they are guarded as well, so they're like staff only places that you wouldn't be allowed to get, presumably because there's like complex or potentially combustible machinery.
So, Catherine and we're all together again, right?
Yeah, let's have you guys meet. Back in Tennessee's room or something.
Does the crew have like any kind of like a uniform or anything that they're wearing, or is it just kind of?
I mean, it's like overalls and sort of it's all of the same color, so it's like a navy blue, but it's not as such particularly uniform.
Okay.
Are we ready to? So I've been thinking a lot about this over the past few weeks. I don't know if we're ever going to go to port. I don't know where the ship is going, but there must be some kind of log or navigational charts that show where they're planning on going. They have to be using something to sail this thing, for the ship to go somewhere. They have to know where. So I think we get into the captain's cabin or wherever they keep, I don't know, boats. Where do they keep that stuff? Vaskov, you've done boats before.
I mean, it just depends. We need to definitely, like you said, go to captain's cabin. Whether or not they have like dinghies or emergency boats below decks, whether they are strapped to sides, don't know. But could be below decks. That happens sometimes.
You definitely spotted a captain's logway in there, which is still like a standard thing. So presumably there's information in the log, presumably some kind of engine room type deal below decks as well. But that may not have information on where they're going. It's probably relayed from the captain down to that chamber down there.
Another thing we could do is we could go down and look at the engine, and I have a crazy theory, but my theory is that this ship might actually be the machine that the cultists are wanting to use for whatever purpose. We take one of the crew, we tie them up, we torture them, and we get them to tell us where we're going, what their plans for us are, and then once we know, we can formulate a plan around that. But my basic idea is get off this ship and blow this thing apart.
Well, I mean, I'm all for the odd torture every now and again, but perhaps interrogation could yield results before we just skip straight to torture.
But I mean, if you think so, yeah, of course, we can try it that way first.
Sometimes
but how do you know that they're not lying to you?
It is funny to see. As someone who has tortured people in the past, I've noticed sometimes they will tell you what you want to hear, so it feels good while you're doing it. So it just depends. It is actually a little more difficult once you get to that stage, because they just want it to end, so they will say anything.
All right. Well, that's fine then. So down to the lower decks, see what's down there, see what makes this ship up, and then find us a person who should know what's going on and interrogate them.
Forgive me, but isn't our first port of call to find out if we're actually going to Australia?
Well, I mean, we could probably find that out in Captain's quarters.
I think that should be our first port of call. If we are going to Australia, as it indicates, then I say we do nothing until we get there. We're exactly where we need to be, and that's where the machine is. If you act before we know our destination, and as Tennessee would like to do, kill everyone on board. I'm not sure. I have zero navigation skills at sea, or even driving something like this. I don't know if any of you know how to use this thing. I would imagine it takes more than 4 people to get this thing working. Depending on what it is.
Could be, but we will not know until we have a look.
So perhaps we could just do step 1 before we go to any other steps. Find out where our destination is going to be, and if we are going to that destination. Yeah? Yes?
It is good first start.
We have to know if there's something more to this ship, what this ship is.
Well, I mean, yes, but say, for example, Tennessee, you find out that this is the rocket, or whatever it was, the machine, that it's going to be. What would you do? Just destroy it here and then while we're still on it?
Plan B.
That's what it takes.
Okay, and what if we're wrong? And it's not? And we die, and it carries on, as, you know? We have to be smart here. We have to be...
I agree, but only way we can make good decision is if we have intel.
Indeed.
So we need to find out intelligence.
Indeed.
So we go to captain's quarters?
I agree. I think that's probably the best port of call, yes. How we get in there...
Well, Doctor, perhaps you could be good distraction.
What would you like me to do?
Well, given a recent discovery on Bruce's lack of mythical skills, perhaps you could have a serious talk, doctor to captain, about health of crew.
I think I can do that.
Just get him out of way.
I think I can do that. I will try to keep him as long as possible.
Maybe get him physical.
He knows who we are. He knows we know who he is. Captain's a smart man, so be careful around him. That's all.
Would anyone else like to come with me? I don't think it takes 3 people just to break into one room.
It does take 3 people to search it very quickly, though.
That is the thing.
Very true, yes.
One lookout, 2 people searching.
Very well. I will do my best to...
And so we knock on Captain's door.
Him.
Here it is.
So yeah, I will go to the captain, knock on his door.
Yep.
If he's there.
He is. He's inside, and Captain Shakti in his nice uniform opens up with a warm smile. Dr. Ernest.
Captain. He shakes it back. Captain, I'm not sure if you're aware of your Dr. Bruce or whatever he is. He's, well, actually not a doctor. I'm not sure if you're aware of that.
Oh. Well, Bruce does the job. He's getting old now, and...
Yes.
Well, there's rarely a medical emergency. Most of the sailors here are qualified, at least in some first aid, but you know how they are. Please take a seat, Doctor. Your expertise will undoubtedly be invaluable to us.
Oh, of course. I was actually thinking perhaps we could go to the bar, have a drink, while we discuss.
I'm afraid I can't drink while I'm on duty, Dr. Ernest.
That drink wasn't for you.
Well, if it's a drink you need, then I do have some here. And he opens up a cabinet and pours out some whiskey for you.
Okay. He'll go and have a sniff of the whiskey and take a sip, and he'll sit down in the room. He goes, so, Captain, as a doctor, I am somewhat concerned of the medical facilities of the ship. You say most of the crew here are used to this, scratches and things, but there will be times where there are a particularly nasty injury Correct. I want to, as a doctor, my goal is to keep people alive and treat them. And I would do that to anyone on the ship, even while I'm still here. And I need to know that the facilities are there able that I can do that.
Quite. Well, how about this? While you are aboard the ship, why don't you take over from Bruce? And when we get to Australia, then we'll search for a new medical crew to replace
I
Bruce.
would highly recommend that. Definitely, Bruce is not. And should there be a serious injury for someone important like yourself, I mean, I'm pretty sure Bruce would just sprinkle cocaine on whatever it was. That's all he
Sometimes
seems to be
it
able
works.
to do.
Yes.
It's sometimes, but if you've got a massive gaping open wound in your chest, I think some stitches is better than sprinkling cocaine in them. I'm sure you would agree.
Stitches and cocaine. Right.
Yes, but stitches as well. It needs to be
Speaking of
combined.
which, is Miss Jordan quite well? I understand that she had a heart attack.
She is doing better, yeah. She's still quite weak and frail. It will take a while for her to fully recover, but she is getting there. I am keeping an eye on her, of course. I don't have anyone die on this journey. But if you would like me to be the medical personnel of this journey, I have no objection to that. In fact, he takes a drink of the whiskey and puts it down. In fact, perhaps we could take a tour of the medical facility and I could tell you what I potentially need, what's it lacking, to organize it, because it seems to me that there was a lack of organization on Dr. Bruce's part. And I feel that if you were to come with me to do that, we could get things sorted a lot quicker.
How about you give me a list of all the things you need, and I'll request them when we're back on land. I'm afraid I'm very busy here, Dr. Ernest. I can't take a tour every minute of the ship, but I believe everything that you say, and that Bruce is terrible. He's awful.
Well, Captain, we don't need to do it now. We can do it whenever you're available.
I actually hate him.
What, Bruce?
Oh, yes, but that's neither here nor there. Anytime will do. Then perhaps we can book in a tour of the medical facility sometime. But, was there anything else I could help you with, Doctor?
No, that was it. I was just concerned about the welfare of the crew, and particularly myself and my companions. You know, if heaven forbid, if I were to be injured, then there would literally be no one to help. So yes. So do you have a time tomorrow? 2 days time? 3? The sooner I get in there and make it mine.
Next week.
Sometime next week? No problem. How much more of the journey do we have to go?
Oh, another good stretch before we reach Australia, Doctor.
Time scale would be really nice.
Well, depending on how the seas
month.
treat us, it could be another 2, maybe even 3 weeks.
Really?
There's a storm coming, so we're getting ready to batter down the hatches, you know?
Ah, yes. And I assume you'd be on the bridge, standing there, commanding the ship when the storm would hit.
That's not exactly how things work nowadays, Dr. Ernest.
Oh, is it not?
What?
Well, yes. I have no idea of sailing. So where will you be? I mean, surely what is the captain's job in the storm? Surely you're not hiding in your cabin.
Dr. Ernest, do you really wish for me to go through every procedure and step that
no,
a crew go upon during a storm?
No,
it's
of
really
course.
not
I'm
all
just
that interesting.
wondering what a captain does when a storm hits.
Well, I am not so much the pirate captain image which you said there. I'm much more in charge of organizing people, making sure that everyone is safe, secure, making sure that the engine crew know that what's going to happen. Being ready to respond to any potential disaster.
I see. So you're a glorified manager?
Yes, in many ways. A captain's job is to make sure that everyone is safe, secure on the ship. Much like yourself, Dr. Ernest.
Well, Captain...
I don't just deal with one person.
Of course not, of course. You do deal with the whole crew. Okay, well, Captain, as you said, there's a storm coming. When I've heard that the storm's coming, I highly recommend we do the medical facility soon, because that storm could suggest injuries to the crew, and I would need things sorted. So it's up to you. We can wait until after the storm to sort everything out, but I highly recommend we do it before that happens. But, Captain, it is your ship, your crew.
It's like a commandment to me, Dr. Ernest, but I'm afraid I am too busy. I'm sure we'll work things out after the storm.
Very well. Thank you so much for the whiskey. It was quite delicious.
You're welcome.
Have a good day, Captain. And he'll leave and head back to the others and tell them, yeah, he's not going out of that cabin.
All right, now listen very closely, Doctor.
Yes, at the same time, he was out wandering around smiling at everybody. Like, however long it was ago before we got the cocaine. Because I ran into him a couple times, but now he's not leaving.
You do see him wandering around on deck, actually, quite a bit.
We can just catch him there.
Nah. We should try to catch him out and about.
I say we go in there right now. We bash his head in. We find what's in that room. Listen, you treat me like I'm crazy. You've been treating me like I'm crazy since we got on this ship. We're on a ship full of cultists. They have one goal, and that's to destroy this world, or to bring these creatures from some other world to our world. The captain has admitted that he's a cultist, that this is a ghost ship. Yes?
Mm-hmm. Do you know how to pilot a ship? Or drive a ship? Or do all the maintenance and mechanics on it? Because perhaps we shouldn't murderize the crew until we get to a port?
What if we never get to a port?
We're kind of in the middle of the Pacific. We're not...
If we never get to a port, then the machine doesn't get to Australia and it doesn't happen, so bully for us, I suppose. If the theory of this thing is, yeah, you know.
Well, that's a theory that we're working with right now. My theory is just Nyarlathotep and Dunsborough are the same person. And if that's true, then both of them want us to get to Australia anyway, so it really is going against their best interest by keeping us from Australia.
I still don't know why they gave us a ship. I really don't. I
don't claim to understand what they're thinking, what their plans are, but all I know is that right now we're doing exactly what they want us to do, and I'm tired of doing nothing.
Well, that's why you should have been doing cocaine.
Okay, so Tennessee, you have been looking into these masks and reading these blueprints, da?
Yeah.
What do they need to launch this ship?
Human sacrifices.
And the masks.
And the masks.
And the masks. Which we have.
There's some sort of fuel stores. We have the masks.
Okay.
You were very busy while we were on winter.
Duh.
Very productive.
It's not that I don't trust you, Tennessee, but I am starting to feel like dog on leash. They put us on this ship. They know how we feel. Duh. Now you say they need human sacrifice. And you're telling us we should kill everybody on this ship.
They probably want us to be the start button, the butcherers.
Do you not see how it starts to feel like I'm being told to kill people? And I kill who I want, not
Same.
Who is...
Well, contracted. I'm not a contracted killer anymore. It's more a hobby now. So.
I wasn't going to bring you in on this because of that very fact.
Yeah.
You do kill who you are told to. It's true.
Not
You're
anymore.
Turning over a new leaf. But you try to even kill yourself, and nobody put out contract on that. So, do you still think, Tennessee, we should just kill everybody? Because it really does feel like that somebody wants us to kill everyone here.
My understanding of the blueprints is that it requires a massive number of human sacrifices, many more than the people that are on this ship. Now,
would you get like a number quota, or like?
I would have to. It's kind of. It's hard to read.
Police officers, what I've done is a massive amount of murder, but to like other sauces, about one part, not average. So it's really matter of perspective.
I think this is murder on genocide level, if I'm
Oh.
remembering correctly
Yes.
from what you told me, Tennessee, but I could be wrong.
Like you said, this is engine. Yes, it needs massive amounts of fuel to go, but you only need a little to prime pump to get it started. And that is what I am thinking this is. I am leery. Tennessee.
Same.
I mean, when you think about what we've done in the past, any cultist we've found has met an untimely demise. It would seem logical that to be trapped on a ship with cultists, that they expect all these cultists to have an untimely demise. And that would be a logical assumption.
Would be very logical. And he very much seemed alright with us murdering his cultists too. Like, not like, oh no, don't kill them all. Just, yeah, go ahead, murder them. Which also makes me a wee bit leery.
I don't...
Also, the fact that Koskov and I are trying to talk people out of murdering people is just... It's very strange.
The world is upside
the
down.
cocaine
right
had a strange effect on you two. Very strange effect.
Nah.
Also, I don't know if it matters, but the captain really doesn't like Bruce. I don't know if that matters, but I thought I should mention it.
Bruce is a charming and lovely fellow.
To be honest,
Well,
I
the
don't like
captain
Bruce either.
really hates him. No, I'm not a
I don't
fan
know the
of
way he
Bruce.
smiles.
He's all right.
He's just...
Well, you know what? We could kill Bruce, and that might draw Captain out of.
No, if
Sort of.
anything, he'll just say thank you very much and stay there.
Yeah, if
I mean-
if he wants Bruce dead, we should probably not kill Bruce.
Have we not considered actually just going to the bridge? That is
I
where
haven't
all
explored the ship at
the
all.
charts would be, the map, you know.
As you can see, my extensive knowledge of the ship is limited to my diagram that I used when we were doing Plan C. So, mid-bay and our quarters. I don't really have it all explored or mapped out in my head aside from that.
Perhaps first port of call would be to map out the ship. Find out where the bridge is, the captain, a way to the bowels of the ship, to the engine room. Surveillance.
Also,
And
it's very
then-
good for if we are going to murder everyone, Tennessee. We got to know the best places to do it from, because there's a lot more of them than there are of us, and we don't have other weapons. So
What weapons do we
Not
have?
to-
I've got
I've made
nothing.
about 6 shivs
Oh,
and a bunch of string, which is really all I need. But you know, guns
we
are
know what
nice too.
Koskov has.
I agree with you. I'm not saying we should just start slaughtering everybody, but I think we need to start taking action. So I'm all about going to the bridge. I think we need to go to the bowels of the ship and find out what's down there. And if somebody
We
gets
should
in our
also-
way,
Okay.
Find out who takes charge if the captain dies, because they could be a bigger problem than the current captain is currently.
Officer, I would imagine, but I don't
Mm,
think
first
I've seen
officer.
the
First
officer.
mate, XO, something like this, depending on you know.
How about this?
Right.
How about this? We start mapping out the ship. We discover where the bridge is, we discover how to get down to the bowels of the ship, and if able, we go through and have a look down there, as Tennessee said. Worst case scenario, they say, excuse me, get out, you're not supposed to be here, and then we just leave. No trouble whatsoever. Okay? Once we have the map of the ship, then we can plan further and have a better idea on what we're doing. How does that sound?
I'm going
Right,
down
yes,
to the
but-
engine room.
It's in our
down and look
territory.
around.
Please, could someone please go with Tennessee? Because I feel if he's going down to the engine room on his own, there's just going to be a mass.
Koskov, you're good with machinery. If you want to go down with Tennessee, I'll walk around with the doctor.
I am good with hands. Yes, you should probably still look after you. Let us do it.
So, to the bridge,
Okay.
Catherine.
Sure.
All right, so Lucy and Catherine head off to the bridge while Koskov and Tennessee try and make their way down to the engine room on the ship. Are the two of you trying to go unseen, Tennessee and Koskov? Make your way down?
Not really. Just, you know, casual passengers looking around, maybe trying to find staircase down, you know. Just out on a lark.
Both of you could roll me a spot hidden roll.
Okay.
Bruce said it was okay.
We can walk around the ship. Bruce said it was fine.
It's totally cool with Bruce. Don't worry, guys. Oh my God.
Success.
Fail.
All right, so Tennessee, you head down, below decks. This is really the first time the two of you have tried to find your way down there. You've been peripherally aware of where various different doors and chambers are, but you've never gone down them. It seems really difficult to find the way down. Actually, you maybe spend 20 minutes trying to find where you thought the entrance was. No, wait, it was here. No, wait, it was here. Oh, wait, there's an entrance. Until eventually you find your way down. This big sealed door, which doesn't appear to be locked, opens up, and you're now on a series of catwalks, which seem to be leading downwards in a sort of a spiral type fashion. And you can sort of hear from down below, although it's so far down that you can't see all the way. It's not lit particularly well. You can hear the thrum and heavy whirring of machinery from down below you. You also hear voices, although again they're too far away to make out the figures of them, but you hear that there are echoing voices coming up, so there's clearly several people down below.
Tennessee will lean in to Koskov and say, "You hear what they're saying down there?"
I'm trying to listen through sound of machines and just really lean into it and try to hear.
You could roll a listen check. It'll be hard.
Oof.
I will check, Architect. Maybe Streamlabs is down. Didn't hear it ping either.
Screw it. Holy crap!
Oh, damn. All right. Let's see.
Where were you when I needed to resist cocaine?
I know, right? On the neck.
Okay. Yeah. So you hear voices coming from down below, and rather than role-playing out a conversation between three people. Oh, mindset's being a dick. I'll instead just sort of divulge what it is that you get the thrust of the conversation is. And they are talking about the engine. You're pretty sure they're talking about the engine room. And they're talking about it almost being ready for something, although they're not saying exactly what it's almost ready for. And you also hear the word storm.
Yes, this engine here, Tennessee, is almost ready, which makes me wonder how we are under locomotion currently. If engine is almost ready, I think you might be right. But they are mentioning storm that is upcoming.
Did Lucian tell us about the captain talking about the storm when he returned?
I would like to say that I did, but I actually didn't.
Seemed like it was a big enough thing for him to...
So I would like to say, yeah, I did.
So my thinking is, Koskov, whatever this storm is, it's part of whatever ritual they're going to do to try to activate this machine.
I agree. Do you want to try to go see if we can find engine?
I do. I want to break the engine. I want to do whatever we have to make sure that this doesn't come to pass.
I agree. Let us move deeper.
Okay, both of you roll me a stealth check. Good. And good. Oh wait, no. No good. I was like, 36 has got to be a success. Do you want to spend 16 luck?
I do not want to spend 16 luck.
Just figured I'd throw it out there in case. So Koskov, you're making your way down there, leading the way, and Tennessee's shuffling slowly behind, but making a lot of noise. You're on a catwalk, and if you've ever walked on a catwalk, you know those fuckers are fucking loud, even if you're moving quietly, and sort of clang, 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 and you hear voices from below saying, "Who's up there? We can hear you."
Can we see?
Yeah,
Are we
you're
able
both
to
too
see
far
them?
away to be able to see each other, and it's like really low lit, so stressing the fact that you're in total shadow. And so are they further down, and they're maybe like 60 feet below you. So they're hearing you clanking, but neither you nor they can see one another.
Koskov,
Nah.
let's charge him.
They're quite a ways away. Perhaps we should lure them in. Let us set an ambush.
He'll call out, "Hello, I was
You're
wondering
lost.
if I could have some help. I seem to come down here and can't find my way back up. The pass down here is real confusing."
You hear one of the voice that's in between one another, and then a call back up. Just head back up. This is stuff only. You can't be down here. Just walk back the way you came.
I tried to head back, but there's no door up there. The only one I found, it's closed and locked. Can you help me unlock it?
There's another bit of mustering between the two. Roll me a persuasion.
And this whole time, Koskov, he's just like been standing still and not making any noise or anything, considering they seem to only think that there's one person here. But I'm looking around to see if there's any kind of doorway off of this catwalk or anything like that.
You can roll me a spot hidden, but it will be hard as you're in this sort of darkness.
It's a fail on mine too.
Okay, so yeah, Koskov, you're not spotting anything here, and Tennessee, you hear the voices mutter between one another for a moment, and then you hear the nope. You can find your way back down here. You can find your way back up. We're not coming up there. We know what you're like.
He leans
We
into
should
Koskov.
We should just
Yeah.
keep going then. If they are not coming up here,
I can run down there and then draw them back up.
Hey, once again, Will, how far down are they from us?
60 feet down.
Oh, okay.
So on a catwalk, you've got a ways to go there.
it's bad on knees. Do not want to jump down. I mean, we could make our way down. They could call more people in. They already outnumber us.
I say we just go as fast as we can.
Okay,
Let them hear us coming.
you go first, since they only hear you.
All right. If I get in trouble, I'll pull back.
I take back. Let me go first, since they only hear you. Perhaps I can catch off guard.
All right.
Okay. So are you gonna rush him?
It is what Tennessee ordered it, so let us go.
Okay. So the two of you sort of rush down, and as they hear the clanking from up above of the your swift feet moving down on a catwalk. As you get closer, the low sort of green light of the room illuminates these 4 figures who seem to be in workers' overalls, like the rest of the workers that you spotted here. They are laboring over what looks to be a part of an engine or a machine, though it can't be the full sort of engine of this thing because it's too small, right? And you've seen the inside of these things before. They have like multiple rooms for different pieces of equipment, and it seems to be forged from this strange dull green metal, the same which you saw in Dr. Straussler's asylum only the other day, in fact. And as soon as they hear you coming, the 4 of them are running out the door, and you hear, "Shit! Get the fuck out of there!" They don't seem to be wanting to stay and fight. They are going to rush out. You know, they've got like wrenches in hands, that kind of thing. They've been like, you know, oil-covered arms and legs. You know, overalls are dirty and whatever. And as soon as they hear you coming, they are running out the door and going to try and like slam the door behind them. So unless you guys are going to try and do something to stop them from running, like shooting or throwing something at them, they're gonna have a good chance of getting away here.
Are we able to see what's on the other side of the door that they're running through?
Roll me a quick spot hidden. This one would have to be hard.
Okay. I will spend 3 luck.
Nice. Yeah. So you get a glimpse of what seems to be a control room that they've sort of barricaded themselves into. And it looks like there are other people in there as well, before the door sort of slams and they close a shutter. And this big sort of, you know, sealed door closes behind them. You are, however, left in the room with this device which they were working on previously, as you've sort of rushed them out.
Well, you are right. At least partially. Let us see what this is. And Koskov, if they're going to leave and just leave the room, Koskov's going to go check on that machine.
Yeah, you could roll me a
check that
hard
too.
mechanical repair. Yeah.
I'm going to spend... Yeah, I'm going to spend 5 of my luck to make that a success.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, yeah, So first of all, this thing is a device which you haven't seen before. So that first of all strikes you as strange. It would be in an old, like, World War I vessel, which recently came back. Secondly, it's made of the same metal that you saw in the asylum. It's a metal that you haven't seen before, so you're not exactly sure on the properties of the metal. Although presumably it has different properties than every metal that you've seen before, because it doesn't appear like it's been painted there or anything. It seems to be a solid, different kind of metal. It has somewhat esoteric-looking panel, like it seems as though one could place one's hand on this panel and manipulate a series of buttons, which seem to be able to be moved with your finger across this panel. This is essentially what it would look like to see something like an iPad or something like that in 1930. It seems like you could move it with your hands. You're not too sure. It seems certainly intuitive in that way, that you saw one of them sort of moving with the hand. But it's not like an iPad in the way that it's like handheld or anything like that. It seems to be like a screen which is on this device. Its purpose, you have no idea. You figure that you could probably figure it out by touching some of these this like interactive panel, though it's not something you've been trained in.
And Koskov kind of looks at that panel and looks at Tennessee. Any of your research tell you what this is? Could
Say it
probably
again.
put hand on. Did your research tell you what this is? Kind of motioning towards that control panel.
It doesn't look familiar to the blueprints, right?
Roll me an idea roll.
Okay.
Okay.
No success.
Yeah, so this it's something like kind of clicks into place. That part of the things which you've been trying to read and understand but can't because they're in another language or too confusing, it kind of makes sense that these are this panel that you're seeing before you is certainly something which is also on the Great Machine, which you've been trying to decipher. Partly because you don't have the language or the knowledge to understand what that could possibly mean, what this technology is why it's been impossible to decipher before. But it would make sense now that this is what you've been trying to understand, some kind of technology which is beyond you, or at least modern technology that they have here aboard the ship as well.
So I would believe, Tennessee would believe that this is one part of the Great Machine?
Possibly, or at the very least they're of the same maker or design. Yeah, it's like the same technology. So, most clearly though, the Great Machine was some kind of rocket. Now, whether or not this ship can turn into a rocket or something, it could be. But they certainly share design elements that you would say, if there are this great race that Lucian Ernest has taught about, who have this great technology and great intellect, that they made the designs for both the rocket and potentially this technology in RMS Moldavia.
Yeah, this is definitely part of the machine, or at least related to the machine. Same design, same makers.
And looking at this little control panel, does it look like it's made of the same metal as the rest of the machine?
Does, yes, it does. So the metal itself seems as though you can manipulate the surface of it, at least on this panel.
And the entirety of what we're looking at here, the entire thing looks like it's made of this metal, or are there different parts that maybe aren't, that look not as tough?
So it is all that same metal, but the panel on it, which seems to be the most interactive point where they were touching it before, is made of a slightly lighter green metal, and is possibly more breakable in that sense.
Well, Tennessee, we could manipulate this control panel one of two ways. How do you want to?
He lets slip from his shirt sleeve a large, heavy wrench that he's been holding on to for the past few weeks, and he will just start trying to smash this thing where it looks weakest, where it's lighter and green.
You want to
That's
give
how he
it
answers.
give it a whack?
Yeah. I want to give it a hard whack.
Okay, roll me a strength.
Oh, jeez. I'm gonna push this. I'm gonna push this roll.
Right.
It's been a few episodes since I've said that.
Yep.
Nope.
Nope. So you pull a muscle in your arm, trying to smack this thing, and really twinges, and the metal doesn't seem to have even a dent in it from where you struck it.
So he's hitting it over, he's just banging it again and again until he finally actually injures himself, and he's breathing hard, and there's a certain just complete godness in his eyes for a few moments that Koskov would notice.
Tennessee, please. And he kind of puts his hand on his shoulder. We will sabotage this machine. Do not worry. You must enjoy your work. You should not get lost in it, because There's no coming back from that. Please, let me see if I can lend you a hand, so to speak. And as he takes his hand off of Tennessee's shoulder, Koskov's hand like lights on fire, and he just kind of like does just a quick hammer fist right on the panel, just to see, you know, this might hurt, but it also might help.
All right.
Do you want an attack or do you want a straight strength roll?
Let's have a strength. Yeah, let's have a strength. It's not whether or not you can hit it. It's whether or not you can break it.
I'm going to spend 1 of my luck to make that an extreme success.
So yeah, you smack it pretty hard, and you see this crack in the pane begin to appear, and the metal, almost like glass, begins to chip, and then it begins to sort of like fry, and you get those sort of like sparks of electricity coming through it. Although interestingly enough, you see no wiring whatsoever, so you're not sure exactly why it's like short-circuiting, but it is.
Another question: do I need to roll a wild magic surge for that? Since I'm hitting.
Yeah, let's roll a wild magic. Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. Oh, come on, invisibility or flight. 5948.
5948. You are 20% likely to think that you are undead if undead are near. I'm not sure if that works for a machine, so
yeah, how does that work since the supposedly the negative ones don't affect me and the positive ones do? Is that negative or positive?
Let's say it's positive. I don't know if that's not necessarily either positive or negative. I don't think. You know, maybe like Koskov just has that feeling where it's like, well, the first thing is like, maybe you can begin to sense that undead are near. That can be like a positive thing for Koskov. So you get like this preternatural sixth sense, but you also get the, you know, the worry comes into Koskov's mind that maybe he's undead too. Maybe that's why you can sense them, you know.
After I eat that kangaroo meat, get the taste for human flesh. Yep. Okay.
So this thing's looking broken, or it's starting to break?
It looks like you've at least, you know, dented a big part of the panel. It's not exploding, but you also have no idea how this thing works in the first place, so maybe you have broken it.
You did something there.
You want me to hit again, or you want to give it a go? I don't have to take all the glory.
Yeah, I'll hit it.
Nice. You smack it again, and you feel the whole panel just like finally shatter and break away, and the shards of this green metal fly everywhere about you, and the sparks grow heavier, and it's like basically on fire. This panel now.
As he steps back away towards Koskov, like shoulder to shoulder with him, he'll say, "Let's get into that control room and deal with those people."
Yeah, if they are still there, let us see. They might be honored.
I know you didn't believe me last time I said this, but I think I've been thinking about it a lot, and I want you to know. What I said back in the asylum was true. They have your sister. I saw her. And I don't want to say what they're doing to her, but it's awful, Koskov.
Tennessee, if you expect me to believe you at all, you will tell me right now exactly what you saw.
There's an operating table. Men in there operating on her. They're taking pieces of her, one piece at a time, somehow through whatever this technology is, same technology, I think, that's making this great machine, they're using her to repair Lucy, my car. And it's not just her body. Part of her spirit, her mind, her soul, it's in there too. Your sister's... I know it sounds crazy, but she's in the vehicle more and more each time it comes back. I didn't ask for this. And I'm not gonna let him get away with it. And I'm sorry that, nobody deserves that.
So you're telling me that these crazy cultists are cutting up my sister and repairing your car, using her as just spare parts. This is what you are telling me.
I'm not crazy, Koskov. I was right about the machine. I'm telling you the truth.
So the crazy cultists are the same crazy cultists through that door.
Through that door. This entire ship is full of them.
And Koskov's hand comes up and flies past Tennessee and into that control room door. And he begins pounding and pounding on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, as you pound at the door, you hear a voice sort of crackle on the speaker, which is just above the door, and crackles for a moment as the interference settles, and then you hear, Mr. Romanovich, please, would you mind not barging on the door so much? If you want to come in, why don't you just ask politely?
Koskov stops pounding on the door. I apologize. May I please come in? Pretty
Why,
please.
of course. Of course, Mr. Romanovich. Anything. And as Dr. Strausler's voice disappears, you feel the door swing open before you. There's no one inside anymore. It looks like the men who are immediately in this room fled even further beyond this room. But you are now in a room with 4 panels in. Of the same sort of like device that you saw before that you just destroyed. There's about 10 of them in this room, and there's another door which leads onwards.
Koskov looks at all of the panels in the door further in. He looks around to see if there's another speaker in here.
There is.
Well, Doctor, the men here appear to have fled. Why would they do this?
Voice crackles on the radio again. It would appear that they are rightfully afraid of you, Mr. Romanovich. They are fearful for their lives after having watched you for so long destroy so many other bodies. I can send them in there if you have some fun with them.
Doctor, is there anything you would like to tell me of a personal nature?
Why? I thought you might never tell him, Mr. Gray. Yes, I have your sister, Mr. Romanovich, and I have been operating upon her regularly. Every time that Mr. Gray destroys that car of yours, Lucy, I remove another organ or part of your sister's body. It was gruesome, nonetheless, but it worked. And, well, the car is in fine condition, as I'm sure you've seen.
And Koskov just kind of looks over his shoulder at Tennessee. This definitely calls for a plan B.
I agree.
And Koskov begins bashing every panel in here.
Tennessee joins him.
Yeah. You hear a little chuckle on the radio. Oh, there is a storm coming. Meanwhile, Catherine and Lucian, you're on the bridge of the ship.
Yes.
What are you looking for? What would you like to be doing?
Well, is anyone there?
Cats.
And cats. Is anyone there?
and
And
cats.
cats.
Yeah.
Mouse.
So it's another staff-only area. So there is a uniform who's watching the door, which looks like it's sort of where you'd like to be getting to. But about the time that you're arriving as well, you also see Captain Shakti arriving as if by magic at the same time that you do. Dr. Ernest, Miss Jordan, I'm glad to see that you're doing so much better again.
Yes, feeling much better.
That's
Is there
cocaine. It can get to you.
A little bit, I suppose, from time to time. Feeling much better now, though.
Hmm.
The doctor's
Oh,
taking
you're up and
excellent
about.
care of me.
So, can I help you with anything? The bridge, I'm afraid, is staff only. But if
is
you
it?
need anything, I can...
Bruce
Well,
said it
you-
was okay, so that's why we're here.
Yeah, well, you see, we were bored. We've been in our cabins for so long, and it's we're getting cabin fever, you understand. So we just thought, maybe we could see how the ship's runs, or at least get a good view up there, or something. Just something different, really.
I normally would be happy to oblige, but unfortunately, the storm is about to come in.
Oh,
Is
it
it
really?
really?
It's sooner than expected, but you never know when these things can happen. They are wild and mercurial. It's best that you get inside. It's going to be a very bumpy ride, I'm afraid.
What is the typical, storm safety procedures, just in case, we have to leave
Yes,
our rooms to go to the, what is it? It's not a John, is it? Is it a John? Not sure, familiar with naval terms.
One word to call it, yeah.
In such dire cases, I would suggest a bucket of some sort. But the
not
storm shouldn't
dire,
last
not
too
of
long.
a storm. Oh, it's terrible.
Oh my.
We should be out of the worst of it after a little while. And then we'll be a whole lot closer to our destination, I think.
Oh,
Right.
Storms have a way of carrying you further than expected sometimes.
Well, I suppose the wind, the waves, and you just ride the waves.
currents.
I guess.
Right,
Yeah,
currents,
yes,
oceanic
I would
currents.
assume so. Yeah.
So
yeah.
it's like a typhoon then. Big one.
Something
and
like
you're,
that, yes.
You're very confident that the ship will make it through the storm, okay? Yes?
Yeah, I heard it sank
She's
once
been
before.
through many a
Before?
storm, Dr. Ernest. She can
Excellent.
suffer another one, I think. This one will be unlike any other, so I would brace for impact.
Well, I will do that. Yeah, we will do that. Thank you so much, Captain. It's been a pleasure.
course.
Catherine, should we, as they say, batten down the hatches?
I suppose we best batten down the hatches. And while we were talking, I want to be looking around the place, seeing if I can see anything that looks odd, out of place.
Yeah, I'll do the same.
Taking
Yeah,
a
I'll do
look-see with my eyeballs.
Yeah, maybe you're on Spitins.
Come
Spitins?
on,
Spin,
eyeballs.
fail.
Spitins.
Oh, my
Woo!
eyeballs are on point. Extreme success.
Mine aren't. Still cocaine over.
Nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
So, Ernest, do you notice that as rain begins to fall quite heavily now down upon the two of you, you look out on the horizon and you do, in fact, see a storm coming close towards you.
Okay.
It kind of grabs most of your attention, actually, because there's strikes of lightning which are coming down, but they appear to not be white lightning. It seems like the strikes of lightning are, in fact, a strange green glow to them, and the storm is darkening the skies and coming closer and closer towards you.
Excuse me, Captain.
Yes.
me. I don't think I've ever seen lightning that color before.
He takes a look out. That does look strange.
Yes.
Well, it must be something to do with the light and the sun.
I want to
don't know.
psychology check that with my awful psychology. So that's what
Yeah.
Marcus would do.
Yeah,
No, I failed.
You know what? I'll do that too.
Strange.
I'll do that too. Why not? No, I failed.
Nice.
Alright.
He,
Oh well,
says,
he's a sailor. He must understand this.
Oh,
No
that
matter
must
what.
be sailing.
we best get inside. And he puts up his umbrella, puts it over his shoulder.
How close are we to the edge of the ship?
I mean, you're on the bridge. Like, I mean, he's not particularly close to the edge, but you could try and rush him up to the edge.
Alright, that's fine. Well, yes, let's head back inside. Catherine, shall we?
Oh, thank you. I suppose we should. Terrible
And we
storm.
We'll head inside. Where is he going? Is he escorting us back in?
Yeah.
or-
Where's
He seems
headed?
to be going around to check in with other people, the crew, that kind of thing, and he's heading to his
Okay.
cabin to direct from there, it seems like.
Son of a bitch.
He seems to be a lot of places at once.
At once. Wow.
Bloody quick.
Really?
He's a quick guy.
Unnaturally so, it would seem.
He knows his way around a ship. Yeah.
Okay, so, Catherine, what do we do now? We can't get to the
I was
bridge.
really
We
tempted
can't
to
get-
shank him, but I don't think that was quite the time. Maybe it was, and I just missed it. I don't know. I'm just feeling very. Ugh.
I mean, he might be the only person to get us through that. Maybe shanking him is the right call.
If he seems to be making it worse, I'll strangle him then.
Okay.
All right. Here, I
So
put
do
a
we-
fake bandage on, because I cut myself, but then I just
Well, that's very smart. That's very smart. You've really
Torch a few
know your
times.
stuff, I bet.
I
Um,
did it for a living for quite some time.
Okay. So, we can't get to the bridge. It would seem the second we get to the bridge... Let's see how quick he truly is. Let's head back up to the bridge.
All right, let's do
I
it.
want to see how quick
I
he
want to be
truly is.
sneaky.
Yeah, we'll be
try to be quiet.
sneaky. We'll try and be
Sneaky.
quiet.
Both roll stealth checks.
Come on. Okay,
Success.
mine's success.
Yeah.
It's okay, we will succeed.
The two of you head over to the bridge, and coming from inside is Captain Shakti, who's just finishing off a conversation with someone. Yes, make sure everything's... Funny seeing you two here. And he closes the door again.
Absolutely. Sorry, I dropped my pen here, and he he drops and picks up the pen. Yeah. See, I dropped this. I needed this.
So, like, he's there way quicker than he should have been, and the two
Oh,
of you
yeah.
were pretty damn sure he wasn't
Be quiet.
watching you at all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's all, Captain. Thank you. And he'll...
Let's get inside. It's gonna
Yes,
be a
yes,
rough
yes.
Best. Just go straight to our quarters, and we want to head to the captain's quarters.
Head over to the
Okay, sure,
captain's
yeah.
quarters.
as quick
Yeah,
as
I
we
know.
can.
I bet you he's fucking there. Stupid asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know
Uh,
what? Yeah.
There are two sets of stairs running up to the captain's cabin. He's going up one while you're going up the other, and he's just like he's starting to go inside. But you just could have sworn you saw him just back there a couple of moments ago.
Even if you do shank him, I'm not even sure. I'm not even sure
sure
if there's
if it
just
might be-
one of him or multiple.
There might be,
or
he might have an identical twin, and they're both just wearing captain's clothes and bullshitted us around. That could be.
The storm's getting
Or-
heavier, and the seas are churning. The boat now is being rocked back and forth by the force
I
of the
suppose
storm,
we should
and the lightning's getting
hold on and
closer.
strap onto something. This isn't quite safe.
Yes, let's head inside and.
All right.
Yeah. As we've been on the ship, right? Have we seen any lifeboats like hanging?
No.
Yeah. Of course not.
Of course not. Yeah.
Have we seen
Fuck
any
me.
of the other passengers or crew while we've been walking around?
Outside, there are plenty of crew who seem to
Okay.
be finding the battens to those hatches.
Okay. I want to look at the crew as we're walking back down to get inside. Do any of them have the same face? Are they all like multiple faces at times too? She's getting a little paranoid. That could just be the
Romeo-
cocaine withdrawal, but she's
Okay, roll me a perception check.
Ooh,
Or Spot
that's
Hidden,
an extreme, I think.
Roll me a
Hard,
sanity check.
hard.
Oh fuck!
Oh,
Think high
Okay.
thoughts. Think high thoughts, Lindy.
okay. Do I roll it or do I just crit it? I'm gonna crit this.
Okay.
Credit, get out of the way.
Yeah.
Get rid of that 20. You don't need it anymore.
I don't need it anymore.
Yeah,
Just-
you take a look at the sailors, and they all start to look the same. Couple of faces. Wait, no, actually, that similarity is, difference isn't actually a difference. When you look at them closely, and when they're moving, they appear to look just like Captain Shakti. Some of them wear caps on. Others of them move swiftly. Some of them have got wear different
Big
facial hair,
flares,
that kind of
yeah.
thing. But they all start. The closer you look, they start to blend together and look the same. You're not sure how much is your paranoia and how much is that, but you're definitely seeing that.
Get real close. Doctor,
Yes.
I don't know if it's the paranoia, but I'm pretty certain that everyone on this crew is Captain Shakti. Just everyone. They all have the same face. All of them.
Apart from Bruce. Bruce didn't.
Well, except for Bruce. Bruce is
Did he?
definitely somebody else. That's probably why he wanted to kill Bruce, is because he wasn't him. Gosh. Oh, Bruce is alright.
Should we find Bruce?
Yeah, let's go batten down the hatches with Bruce.
I mean,
Why not? He's
Okay,
the only
why
one who's
not?
not the captain. If he is, then we'll just
Yeah.
shank him.
maybe he knows what's going on. Maybe he realizes. Let's go find him.
Right.
At this
Okay.
point, Lucian is going to
I'm gonna look real hard at Bruce when we
really,
get in there.
really look around. I don't know how he's going to do this.
So-
He's thinking at this
yeah.
mind, this isn't possible. This has got to be a dream. This has got
Well,
to
here's
be
the
a
other thing as
It's
well.
gotta be
Like,
that-
you have seen people around the ship before, and they definitely weren't Captain Shakti before, right? Like, you saw crew,
Right.
you would have noticed on your time on the
Yeah.
ship if everyone looked just like Captain Shakti.
Yeah.
I mean, so now is when Catherine's noticing it. When she's, really looking at everyone, that's when she's seeing it.
Oh, right.
So, is it her paranoia? Is it now that
Maybe
something's
it is.
more visible?
Okay,
Is
yeah.
it the storm?
I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna have a look. I think maybe Catherine's going a bit. So I'm gonna
Spot
have a hard look
Good assumption.
myself. Spot hidden, yeah.
Yeah.
That's 20 hard
We're just
success.
asking for it.
Yeah, roll me a sanity check.
Nat 20. I'm not risking that.
I'll let you use it this time. So it is though the green lightning illuminates the truth to the people aboard the RMS Moldavia. When the lightning strikes and as it gets closer, you see their faces contort and warp into that of Captain Shakti's. Though certainly when they're in normal lighting, you haven't noticed that before. But they move with a singular purpose, as though driven by some kind of master.
Let's find Bruce. I think we should find Bruce. Oh, maybe
Yeah,
Bruce is
medical.
one. We just didn't see him.
Oh, we're gonna give Bruce a real good hard look
We find
And
Bruce,
steal all
throw
the
him
surgical
outside,
implements.
and
as weapons. Yep,
Yeah,
if he
yeah,
is.
yeah,
But I
yeah.
think Bruce is alright. We'll see.
let's find Bruce. And
Yeah.
get away.
The
I need a weapon.
the two of you rush over to Bruce's medical bay. Meanwhile, downstairs, Tennessee and
Like,
Koskov.
he's like the only other one normal person on the ship, and he's completely
Right, right.
incompetent.
He's just so incompetent that all the cultists just let him be there. That's just fucking
Yeah.
Bruce. Like, he's an institution on this ship. Tennessee and Koskov, meanwhile, have destroyed the panels, and they're all on fire downstairs in the room. And the radio crackles. You can feel the ship churning and moving while you're doing this, as though it's being buffeted around by strong winds. You can hear the rain tinging on the outside of the vessel, even this far down below decks. And the voice says, very good, Mr. Romanovich, Mr. Gray. It seems as though you're going to want to fasten yourself to something. We're about to get on a very bumpy little ride.
I am fine, thank you. I am busy.
There's another door, right?
There is another door, yeah.
Okay, Koskov, after finishing off here, he's going to go through that door, and he is looking for anything else to break. As he kind of looks up at the speaker, and he's just going to be like, "For every piece you took from her, I will take a piece from this ship. I will destroy your plans. I will lay waste to everything that you know."
As the two of you step out into past the door, you come into a glass corridor, which strikes you as particularly strange, seeing as you are on a World War I Navy ship. But the glass corridor, you see there's just there must be just water all around you, as you're somewhere below the surface of the sea at this point. Again, this probably doesn't make sense, knowing where you were just moments before, but it strikes you that this isn't the first time you stepped through a door and found yourself in a slightly different place. And you feel, as the storm above you, you can actually look up and see the lightning strikes illuminating the sky in the RMS Moldavia from above. You see the vessel being clung to by something. This huge, vast, black tentacle reaches out from the inky darkness and grabs onto the RMS Moldavia, clinging onto her, latching itself on and pulling her down into the water. And you see as the RMS Moldavia begins to sink swiftly down to the bottom of the ocean. And that's all in tonight's episode of Call of Cthulhu Masks of Nyarlathotep.
I can't swim!
I have a point to swim. I'm good.
Nothing bad ever happens on boats. That's the one rule.
That's the one rule we've had this 2 years.
Yeah, we may have broken it. We may have broken it. Oh boy, well, my friends, that's where we're going to end tonight's session. Storm has hit the RMS Moldavia. I figured it would only be a matter of time before you guys get up to no good on this ship. It was surprising, the drugs had you going for a little while there. Little heart attack from Catherine. No big deal. Just a quickie heart attack. We can all live with that. Good God, if this wasn't a lesson in don't binge on cocaine, kids, while you're traveling to Australia, then, that really is the central thesis of Masks of Nyarlathotep. But great fun tonight. We're going to leave it there. We've got a couple more episodes to get to, but we are swiftly descending towards our conclusion here, as you're going to get to the great city of the Great Race, the Yif, which is going to be fucking dope. But we've got Adventures in Middle-earth coming up in just a few minutes' time, so stay tuned for that. We've got an awesome battle coming up, actually, the battle at the Ring Fort, where they are surrounded by orcs and goblins and wargs, and they're going to have to defend with a paltry alliance, but we'll see if they can make it out. Let's go around a cast and crew for now, though. Did we enjoy ourselves? Where can we find you guys online? Let's start with Lindy. How was that tonight for you and Catherine?
Did I enjoy myself, or did I enjoy myself? That was a blast and a half. I'm surprised at how effectively we pulled off Plan C, and then, of course, the consequences. It was just hilarious and awful, and I can't believe I rolled a fumble on that check, but she got better. So, definitely Pulp Cthulhu meets Pulp Fiction meets Cthulhu, Pulp Cthulhu. It's fun. It was a blast. I can't wait for next week. I really hope that dear Bruce is just the most incompetent doctor ever, and that's why he's on the ship, because that would be icing on the cake, and then he gets horribly murdered, I'm sure. And yeah, can't wait for next week. You can find me online, Laugh Love Lindy, thinking about this and laughing about it till next Wednesday when we play again. It'd be great.
Fantastic. Tom, how was that tonight for you?
Oh, I love it. Absolutely blooming love it. From the coke heist to ODing to then actually realizing, well, maybe we should actually explore the ship and see what the hell is going on. I love the fact that wasn't our first port of call. The coke was the first thing that we went for. But it was great. Absolutely loved it. I can't wait for next week, where Big Tentacles are going to do naughty things to us. So that'll be nice. I myself are Redundant UK. You can find me on Twitch, Redundant UK, and on Twitter, Redundant UK, and in the Discord as well. I hang out in there. So if you want to get a hold of me, you can get hold of me on all 3 of those places.
Fantastic. And Pruitt, how is that tonight for you and Mr. Romanovich?
Well, man, I'm going to be sad when this is over. I will not miss having to put these tattoos on. But this was a special one because, you can follow along with the plot of the story and all of that, but it's those moments when players just go, "Hey, we want to do this thing. Can we do this thing?" And your GM goes, "Yeah, sure, whatever." And so yeah, this was one of those days, and this is a cautionary tale, not a cautionary tale against doing drugs. You shouldn't though. But it's a cautionary tale on what happens. Yeah. But this is a cautionary tale on what happens when you plan too well and when a plan goes too good, because that's what happened today. Is the plan worked too perfectly, and then you get coked out and OD. So hey, these are the things we have to deal with in everyday life. But anyway, I'm Pruitt, one half of WebDM, where every Wednesday you can find our YouTube videos from DM advice videos and tabletop role-playing videos. Check out today's vid on Big Ol' Battles. The thumbnail is quite delicious, if I do say so myself. It's one of my favorite in a while. But also be here for Adventures in Middle-earth. Can't wait to get to that craziness. I'll be here for Octum Cthulhu. I believe the finale is this Friday. So that's going to be exciting as we're finishing up some crazy cult shit in Egypt. I'm sure there'll be tentacles there as well. It's what happens with Cthulhu. Also on Sunday, we'll be over on Tales from the Grim for his Highlander game. I'm not sure if I'm going to be playing this Sunday or not, but you should check it out maybe anyway. And then I have my game on Tuesday nights on WebDM Twitch, Starward Bound. Come fly through space. There's more. I would say there's more drug use on our show than this show, but that's just because it's because it's Greg. So anyway,
right.
Until next week.
Well documented.
Yeah.
Drug user. Oh boy, Don, how's that tonight for you and Tennessee Gray?
It was great. I loved Plan C. I loved just watching all of it unfold, and then at the very end, they hand me the drugs and throw it overboard. I'm kind of sorry that we are being pulled down underneath the water, because I imagine that this is like the beginning of a series of very unfortunate events. But after an episode in the asylum and some time in the ship, I am ready to get back to fighting tentacles. I'm really looking forward to. We've kind of had it a little bit easy on the health side of things for a little bit, not so much on the sanity side. So I'm looking forward to finding out what exactly is going on with the Great Machine. Yeah. I have so many questions. Which I'm going to post up in Discord and let people tell me what they think. But you can find me online at Donathan Fry. I'll post about the stuff that I do, games that I play, things that I write. You can follow me there, and I'm very much looking forward to next week.
Yep. Fantastic. You guys killed it. You learned a lot today as well. The Doc finally read that book. Do you want to read the book, Doctor? Do you mean the book? Yeah. There's a lot of creepy stuff going on, and you finally had the time to actually read it as well.
I know, right? It's rare. Did I learn a spell? Did I get any spells from that book?
You would have learned a spell. I think we talked about this before. If you spent 2 weeks, you learn the spell Raise Zombie.
Shit! Really?
Yes.
I know a spell like that.
I wrote it in the notes somewhere. I'll send it to you between session now. It's
all right, dude.
Somewhere in the sanity absent notes that I've written down. But yeah, it's like you can raise a zombie when you have a body of a dead person, and it like acts for your command for like a week.
Hey, Catherine, want to OD again?
Oh boy, that's a terrifying thing to say. Let's head to our next show though. We've got more horror coming away next week. Man, Doc, but the doc could learn a thing, or maybe has learned a thing or two from Bruce. It's all this time the RMS Moldavia. All for the better, I'm sure. Bruce is my favorite. I hope he lives forever. We'll see you guys in the next one. Try not to throw too many net ones. You want to be the laughing when you do. Good night, everyone.